I feel when your troubles are weighing me down. And it's hard to accept that the world has your back when you cry and there's no one around. But it's okay, girl, to take a day, girl, to regroup and to relax your mind. I know your pain, girl. Trust when I say, girl, that tomorrow is gonna be alright. Breathe out. Nobody said it'd be easy. You're working hard to take care of your baby. And the way the world's set up, even when you make it up, you got to keep it moving on. So it's okay, girl. Take a day, girl, to regroup and to relax your mind. I know your pain, girl. Trust when I say, girl, that tomorrow is gonna be alright. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. Lay your troubles down. When you drama, makes me wanna. I know you're tired of stressing with the world on your shoulders. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go. I know you're tired of stressing. Oh, yeah. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. What up, family? It's your girl, Just Patrice, live with Just Patrice Blow Radio.com is in the building. Welcome to Monday. Y'all know how we get down. I used to say welcome to Monday, but then I realized that my tagline for Calm Wellness Services, you're welcome. So, like, you're welcome. So that's not, I'm changing the text just so y'all know that. So when I say welcome to Monday, I mean WELKALM. Welcome to Monday. Oh, you said welcome on Monday. Now, I just did that real quick. It's March. Y'all know how we get down. Y'all know that Patrice love the women. Patrice love everything that we do as women, specifically women of color, who are entrepreneurs. Do you understand what I'm saying? How we get in and do what we do. I love that. I love that for us. With it being Women's History Month, we're going to talk about women all month. We're going to talk about all the things that we deal with, health, entrepreneurship, family, and then I get to interview, like physically interview some of my favorite women, like in the world. I think that these women are making moves that y'all be missing. And sometimes you just got to give people their flowers right now. And I don't want to be doing it later because I'm going to be honest and tell y'all, some of y'all, I'm not going to be able to make it to the services. Not because I want, not that not important, but that's a lot of energy to absorb at a funeral, okay? And to be able to be in there as an empath, I got to deal with all of the weeping, it's a lot. And so I'm not a fan of services. And plus the way that I feel about once we transition. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about, but y'all feel what I'm saying about that. So we're going to flower and love on my peoples. now. You understand what I'm saying? Today's special guest, y'all see her, but we're going to talk about that in a second. Make sure y'all share this video, crossing T's and dotting I's. If you are listening to the show, that means you are tuned right into blowradio.com directly, whether you are on Live 365, if you are on TuneIn. We love it. You could be listening to other stations, but you're not. You here with us, and we love it, and we love you for it. Well, at least I do. Anywho, if you are watching the show, that's dope too, because that means you are either on my YouTube channel, which is where I want y'all to be. Hey y'all. And listen, so because I'm on my YouTube channel, I don't have to worry about deleting all my Facebook videos, because what? It's already on YouTube. I've saved them already. All of them, loaded them YouTube. That's why I go live. Yeah, all that. So if you're watching on Facebook, you might be on Facebook. Sis not on Facebook no more. Let me do that too. Nah, she's not on Facebook no more. However, I'm on Facebook. I should have did the Instagram plug. Maybe I'll do it while we're talking. But I'm on Facebook, so my personal page, Live with Patrice, or on blowradio.com page, you can watch and check all of that. Make sure y'all say hi, show some love. I'm excited to be here with my sister Ship. I see you, Mama, jumping in. Is that Tanine? Oh my gosh, is that Britt Nicole? Hello. So glad to have you guys joining. I get to be sitting here with this, you see her shirt, Boss Fly Girl, CEO herself. You understand? I love that. Sometimes because y'all know I think I'm over 50 now, so I'm extra emotional, which is terrible because Patrice already emotional as fuck. Y'all know that. It's the truth. It's the truth. They be like, Patrice, you're so sensitive. I'm not sensitive. I'm emotional, and there's a difference. Okay. I'm very in touch with my feelings, and I have a problem sharing it because y'all don't want to deal with Charles. So I got to hide mine because I ain't. Boss Fly Girl in the building. You understand what I'm saying? CEO in the building, licensed therapist in the building, lifestyle coach in the building. We can drop them down. You understand? Just left and right. Mother in the building. You understand what I'm saying? Caring, loving, supportive friend in the building. You know what I'm saying? Newlywed in the building. And it is an honor to be sitting here with you. Grab your mic, Mama. Make sure you push the push button up. I am sitting here with Mrs. Mickell Dent, therapist, as well as lifestyle coach. Y'all give it a round of applause. What up, Mickey? Listen, y'all, listen, Glow founder. Come on, drop them if I'm missing them. Founder, yes. Come on, let me go and change our banner real quick, just so I can make sure y'all know that y'all can call in right here and chop it up with us. 414-885-4739, area code 414-885-4739. I usually leave this up, y'all, but I just want y'all to know that I'm about to change the screen for a reason, because I want you to be able to see all of this dopeness. Look at her. Look at that face. Look at her. She like, don't be trying to whisper. What we doing? We seeing your face, girl.
What we doing? Hey, y'all. Hey. What's up? You got me in the building.
I do. I'm so happy to do that, though. Yeah. Like, I'm so happy that you're here. And I know I was back and forth, like, we're going to be at Calm, we're going to be here. And I was like, okay, I'm here. Let's just do it here. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be here in the comfort of the home and be casual about it. You know what I'm saying? So that we can be comfortable and just chop. You know what I'm saying? So I got to go back to the beginnings of the beginnings.
The beginnings of the beginning.
Yes. What made you become a therapist? Like, you just decided to do out of high school, or you always want to be a therapist, or is it new info?
I would love to have the cute story. I always wanted to be a therapist. Like, shout out to one of my homegirls. She's a therapist. She wanted to be since she was little, but that wasn't my story. I was in the streets when I was little.
Really?
I was in the streets, girl.
Come on now.
But what made me be a therapist is because of my organization Glow. Before Glow, I was a crisis stabilizer. So with people who don't know, crisis stabilizer is like an advanced mentor. You youth with high risk behaviors, I'll respond to their I'll be their intervention. Like if someone called, if they had a bad day at school, things like that. Okay. I did that for several years. And then
And this is after high school for you.
This is we starting from high school?
Yeah, come on. So high school.
We got
out of high school.
back.
Yeah, we going back. Like when you got out of high school, what was you doing?
I was telling them stories. Are we going back?
Yeah,
we going real.
Yeah, real.
Okay.
What were you doing? First out of high school, you trying to tell me no.
Right,
No,
the whole life, right?
come on back. You didn't just wake up and be like, I'm gonna be a therapist. I'm gonna be a crisis stabilizer. I'm gonna help the world.
No, ma'am. No, high school. Coming out of high school, I had a baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Mom.
I had a baby. I had got accepted to my college that I wanted to go to. My mom, we visited the college, picked out my apartments, and I was pregnant. And I didn't want to tell her, So finally, I had got to the point where I had to tell her. But I ended up telling her, and I had a supportive mom. And my mama was like, "You having a baby, but you going your ass to college." She was like, "I'm a babysit. We gonna do this. We gonna do this thing." And shout out to my mom. Yes, shout out to my mom, y'all, because my mom, to make sure I got to school, I had my baby. She would help me with my baby. Mm-hmm. She worked third shift. My mom would pay. She didn't have a car. She would pay my cousin gas money and for his car, and she would drive me to school, which was an hour away. And mind you, she worked third shift, so she didn't go to sleep. Right. And she caught the bus. My cousin met us at her house. We would go drive an hour. She would go sleep in the cafeteria while I went to college. You know what I'm saying? While she got my baby too, sometimes. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So that was my support system, because prior to that, I grew up in 53206. So if you don't know what you're going to become, society tells you what to become based on your situation. Right. So I was all of those things. Okay. Like I was all of the things that society said you gonna do, like from the selling drugs to the fights to the everything. Okay. I've tried all of that. So fast forward to when I had my baby, my mom, she supported me. I was in college. Yeah, I was doing college. I was this person. Like even in TED Talk, I know we'll get that later, I talk about the mask and how many masks we wear. My mama knew me as a schoolgirl. I got my baby, but then she gonna be watching my baby and I'm gonna go sell drugs. Mm-hmm. Like she didn't know that. I'm in school for nursing. So that's how my life was. And it just was the be this face this way, be this face this way. However, the whole time I knew that I wanted different. Okay. Like even being around my cousins and stuff like that. If I could be transparent. Completely.
Nope. Ain't no sweetness around here. You just be your whole self. And
I was always different. So the reason why I even started selling drugs is because we were younger. I won't say our age. We were younger, and I'm not saying the age because I don't remember the age, but we was probably like late teens, and we were all just chilling and we were smoking. And I'm like, I don't even really like smoking like that. And we just was having a conversation. And I looked around because I got a lot of cousins. And I looked around the room.
You did in the sense that I could be making this bread. He was like, I don't even, but y'all do.
And I told him
less.
And I said, I'm just gonna sell the weed to y'all. You know, I don't smoke it ever. They was good with it, and that's how I started selling drugs.
He's like, don't you worry.
That's how
I'm gonna do it. Yeah. And then we gonna be straight.
Because I was around it all the time.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I was around it. You know, my brother, rest in peace. My brother used to sell whatever he sold, but his things, he trusted me. Mm-hmm. So it was around me. I had access to everything. You know, if I'm being all the way 100, it was a time that me and my brother was so locked in. It was a time the police came in my mom's house, and me and my brother was smoking in the kitchen, and there was some dope in my room on the bed because my brother was for the bag up, and the police like, who drugs is these? And they called my brother back there.
You good? We right here. We right here, sis. Don't you worry. We right here, and I'm right here with you. Thank you for sharing this, because we know that sometimes these recollections, you know, they drum up all the emotions, and that's okay. That's okay. It's a beautiful thing about being a woman, and you should have don't hide them feelings. You already know what I'm saying about pushing them in. Don't push them in. Just catch them on the way down.
Right. You know, let them fall. Right. Yeah. So with my brother, you know, they like, who drugs is these? He's like, I don't know, whatever. So then they call me back there like, who drugs is these? I'm like, mine. My brother. What? So he wasn't back there. It was just me and the police. And I'm like, mine. And my cousin looking, I'm like, the police like, so these your drugs? I said, yep, they my drugs. He was like, so you know I'm finna take you to jail. And I turned around and I put my hands in the back. And my brother was like, what? And he was like, come here. He called my brother like, who drugs is these? He asked me again. And I'm like, mine. My brother like, man, don't make some motherfucking drugs. So that's why I'm laughing. I'm crying because that's our relationship.
He was like, what?
But in my mind, y'all, I was going to jail for my brother. I didn't care because I just felt like my brother gonna get me out of jail. I'm like, I'm young because again, society teach us if you young, because I was a teen. If you're young, I think I was like 15. If you were young, you gonna get out of jail. That's what I thought in my mind. So I just felt like I'm gonna go to jail because I don't want to see my brother get a long time in jail because he's 8 years older than me. I'm the baby sister. So I just was like, okay, because I knew my brother was coming to get me in my mind. So anyways, my brother started saying that. He's like, them ain't whatever. They took the drugs, flushed them down the toilet because they weren't supposed to come in anyway. We was in the hood. And I guess my brother knew, like, if nobody say whose they are and y'all got no warrant and all that.
Anyway, then they not.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're not here.
That type of time.
Ain't no drugs here.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So he was my brother.
Like, you're not here, sir.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And my brother like, I don't know, it'd be plenty hypes coming up through here. That probably was my uncle's. He like with a razor right there. But my brother just knew what to say. So
for sure.
The police end up leaving, but that's just how I ended up selling weed because my point was I was always around it. Like that's just how I grew up. So it was nothing to me. And then fast forward from doing that, I had ended up getting pregnant. Then fast forward to going to college. And then even at that time, going to college, still selling drugs. And now I'm in an abusive relationship. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm scared to tell my mama. So it just was a lot going on young with me, like before I even hit 21.
So I know a lot of people miss that, and I appreciate your transparency. I see y'all chiming in. Britt Nicole, Lorraine Star Marie, was that Tashima Dean chimed in, Bonnie in the building.
What's
Come on, y'all. She telling us all the background. This is the foundation of a CEO. Okay, I'm saying this so y'all understand. Like we made differently, and I hate to use the Kendrick reference, but you know what I'm saying. There are a lot of people that are not like us. You know what I'm saying? Us meaning Black women.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
and the
ma'am.
things that we've gone through to get to where we are. You know what I'm saying? I want to just reference that. You was loyal then. You loyal now. You understand what I'm saying? You was riding then. You was riding now. And now you just make different decisions. And so you know how to make a better choice. And you know what I'm saying? What that looks like. But that don't mean your loyalty is different. You know what I'm saying? Also, I just also like to mention how God was like, not today, Satan. Not today. You know what I'm saying? He was like, these mine. The brother was like, no.
He said, man, no more her mother. In my head.
Clearance, but this ain't her motherfucking drugs.
And then the police was like, man, you better buy her some shoes or something. You owe her some shoes.
You owe her something. A whole lot of something. And we know who they belong to. We just know that we also not supposed to be in here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So being able to take all of that. And I was telling the young lady yesterday when we were at Prepare 25, which we're going to talk about also. You are learning, building a foundation to the woman that you are now. And she was a little down about not having made a decision, a career decision and with life. She's 24, excuse me. And she was saying, you know, I'm not really doing nothing. I'm just working. I'm like, no. Let me help you with that mindset. No, ma'am, you are not just working. You're learning right now, and you are putting together the pieces of your foundation so that when it's time for you to make whatever big moves you make, you're gonna have these lessons under your belt. You're gonna know how to do all of your admin work and what your admin is supposed to be doing. Sounds like you on a brink of entrepreneurship yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
And she was like, "What you mean?" So we talked about all the skill set that she was gaining, and she was like, "I didn't even realize that." I'm like, yeah, you learning. That's okay. Keep learning, no matter what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean jobs.
Yes.
Get the jobs.
Yes.
Learning.
Yes.
Learning, and you gaining all your skill sets. Now you know how to deal with people. You learn how to deal with customers. You know how to deal with internal customers. You learn all the things. And then, of course, as an admin and an executive admin myself, I've done for years, I was able to give her some key pointers, like to just randomly sitting there. This young lady happens to be somebody who has pursuing the same background that I've had for like 30 years.
Yes, ma'am.
It just happened. I was like, I see you, mama.
And she was just there.
And she just happened to be there. Can I sit? Absolutely. Come have a seat. So I'm talking with her, chopping it up with her about it. And so I gave her this is what, as an executive assistant, as you are training to be, is 2 things you need to learn. But more above everything else. You can always be taught Microsoft Office. Anybody can teach you the software. But the skill set that you need as an administrative assistant, especially executive, is one, you have to learn your CEO or your executive, learn them. Okay. Do they have a family? How about their siblings? What their personal life is, because you need to be able to, what's the word I'm looking for? How you, estimate, or I can't find it right now. I have to be a step ahead of you on what it is that you need, but I need to know where you come from in order to get that. So do they have siblings? Are they do they have good relationships with their family? What does that look like? These subtle things you learn, but you learn by listening. You don't have to engage, you don't have to ask questions, you learn by listening. Whatever research is available online, you can even ask that. You get what I'm saying? How do I say? Right. You get what I'm saying? So you ask questions about, so how's your family? You know what I'm saying? And then depending on how they answer, whether or not they prioritize their children, whether or not they prioritize their wife or their significant other.
The psychology behind all of that.
Listen, I have a long time studying. So the first thing is you learn the CEO. Well, not the first thing, but one of the things you learn that your executive. What's important to them, how fast they need things done, whether it's timeliness or speed. You get what I'm saying? Whether it's accuracy or quantity. You get what I'm saying? What's important? Once you start learning these things, then I can. What's the word I'm looking? It's a very important word too. I can figure out in a way. I can kind of say, okay, Mick's gonna need this. She's gonna need that. Nope, be a little bit more patient right here. Be a little more leading in this space or whatever. But these are things that you learn once you figure out your person.
That's tight.
You get what I'm saying? The second thing you learn, especially when you're working with an executive, is the company. All the parts of the company. You don't need to learn how to do all the jobs. You just need to know what they are.
Yeah. Okay.
So you don't have to do all the jobs. You need to know what they are. Because if I'm the CEO's executive, then I need to know what he's responsible or she's responsible for at all times. I don't have to do the jobs. I just need to know what report's supposed to go, what's supposed to be happening, so that when you are not on your P's and Q's or something is happening distracted, that and then just keep talking and moving or whatever the case may be, because that's not, you hear me? Because that's how that's supposed to go.
I like that.
That's the option. So now I know you, and I know what needs to be done.
So you be analyzing me then?
It's my child. That's my job.
What? Honest?
That's my job.
Psychology behind
it's complete. It's learning. It's
I love
people.
that.
You know what I'm saying? It's definitely psychology, but it's people.
Yeah.
And if I'm a servant, I'm to be of service. Who am I serving? And what being of service to and or for. So in order to execute that, that's why yesterday when we was talking and you was asking me the questions, I got quiet and then I listened to what you were asking me, and then instead of just rambling a bunch of things, because then we both would have been doing that, I was like, okay, what is it that you need to know?
I was slick too.
And then you answered.
And I said, right the fuck down.
And I responded.
Yeah.
And then you was like,
right.
Yeah, but if I would have answered the same way you were asking, then it would just been an exchange of that, and we would have been dancing in that space. Somebody had to take the pause and be like, okay, this is what you need? Here you go.
Right. Well, I was like, oh, bet. Cool.
And then it was like, after she sat down and she was chilling. She looked at me. She was like,
I'm like, right, you can teach your brother that one, because the way you just set me down, man.
Just learning all these things. So I'm saying all this. I got to tell her about establishing a foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to keep learning. And I wanted to point out that's what you've done. You know what I'm saying? Like all those things that you were experiencing, all those moments that you were having, you were learning how to be patient. Your mom was showing you how to multitask, not literally, but to prioritize and still get things done, even when you throwing a monkey wrench in. And she was like, this is what it looks like. This is what a foundation of support looks like. This is so no guessing. You know what I'm saying? All those things showed up for you. And believe it or not, your brother showed you loyalty. Your brother showed you how to discern a situation. Your brother was showing you how to move in and out of people that may or may not be in your best interest. In that moment, those police officers taught you how to assess a situation and when to say less. You know what I'm saying? And what all types of learned lessons that we berate or put people down for, but know your background, where it come from. You know what I'm saying? That's and how do I learn this? How am I even able to? I'm gonna tell you, ain't nobody got a nose. Listen, girl, don't nobody got a nose about the green like me. I can smell it and tell you what kind it is. People like, how did you learn that? Well, I know people. And the people like, Patricia, don't worry about what I've done in my life. You know what I'm saying? To get here, yes, I roll with bags and bags, state to state. You know what I'm saying? With learning about different kinds of buds and herbs. So it's no wonder that I'm a licensed processor. There's no people like you don't even smoke like that. I don't, but I know how. I know the product. Right. You know what I'm saying? So understanding those things, and that's one moment of flowers I wanted to give you for learning. You know what I'm saying? And not allowing your circumstance to determine your outcome. You know what I'm saying? And to utilizing those skill sets. Even when you didn't even know that's what you was doing, you were learning and building your foundation. And I love that because now I'm looking at your organization and all the little ins and outs and little nuances that from your personal life that you make available to these young people.
Yes. And you sitting there, I'm like, dang, I never really said my story out loud like that. And then I'm like, your original question is like how I become a therapist. And it's like, even telling that is part of originally why I became a therapist. Like once I get to that part, it's literally flashing back to why I became a therapist, all of this. So it's so crazy. It started from all the way back then. So though this little girl did not know I want to become a therapist, God knew that he was going to make me a therapist and put me through situations that's making me a dope ass therapist.
That's right.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I love it.
My bad.
That's it. You just supposed to do that. That's what we're here for.
I still say, you know, you do your thing a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Don't tell nobody. Yeah, because people tell us to run from our stories, not understanding our stories are so important. They help shape us, you know?
And then knowing that, and in today's age, a lot of people, it used to be celebrities were untouchable or they were just figments of our imagination. We had no idea they were regular people. They did regular stuff and got in regular trouble. But nowadays, life as a celebrity is so transparent. There's nothing they can't hide from anything. Cell phones, cameras, TV, everywhere. There's nothing. The world is watching, and there's nothing they can do. So now they have to be celebrities, like in transparent though. So it used to be lives of celebrities were private. And that they were tucked off away, and they did things that we never even knew. Like imagine we never knew that they was losing their parents, that their parents are dying, and that their children were sick. We didn't know these parts of their lives. Now we know everything, almost too much, in my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? May she rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Sister Angie Stone just recently passed away, and before her entire family was even notified, the video of said accident was floating around the internet. Wow. And nobody knew who it was initially. And then when they found out, lit it up. lit it up before anybody. Now you see videos of her performance. You know, people go see you perform and they be like, "Oh, I was seeing Angie Stone last night." Now they in the post immediately. This was her last performance. Give the people a moment. Like literally.
It be like that. It be like that. That's how I thought my brother was murdered.
You understand what I'm saying?
Somebody went live on Facebook and his I call her my sister, but it's his baby mom's sister, and she called me on Facebook screaming like, Mick, they said they trying to get Ye CPR. You got to get there. So when I went there, it was it was taped off and stuff like that. However, people were live. It was videos of my dead brother inside the car.
For sure.
Those videos showed me my brother got shot. I didn't know. I thought my brother was in a car accident at first, So those moments, people, y'all need to be careful. Like, y'all don't understand what that does to the family. Like, now these pictures of my brother dead body in the car is floating around social media for everyone to see. People do these things for likes and things like that. We can't get those images out of our head. Like, that's not right. So I just want to put that out there to people as well.
For sure. So taking all of that into consideration, and we can start there. You get what I'm saying? As a woman, you get what I'm saying? We're expected to like do all the things, know all the stuff. And a lot of people think that's not true, but it is. It is.
It is, girl.
It is. Like, it is. As you're a mother, my finger itching.
Why you say that? Because I keep talking. I'm gonna show you real too. I'm gonna show you right now.
I don't know what's wrong with this on my eye.
This was just today. What is that?
That's her kid showing her picture of her finger. Look what happened to my finger, Mom.
What is this?
How am I supposed to know, Mom? Because you're a mother and you're supposed to know all the stuff. Y'all magical. Very magical. You understand what I'm saying?
You know that, dog.
I don't know.
You be just on point, dog. That's too funny.
That's hilarious. She's like, "Are you kidding me? Look at this
proof right now." They
want us to know everything down from there. Then we got significant others. Lord forbid. You ever see a sick man? I'm just gonna pause and we're gonna have a moment of silence for all the women in the world who have to deal with sick, or sick meaning unwell. I don't care if it's a sinus cold, a little scratch on my cheek. I don't care. A man with an ailment. If that is who you have to deal with, here's a moment of silence for you. And scene. Because, baby, we already know. Okay, we're going to pause on that. We already know that's not their forte. Okay? Or if you are at work and you know more about a system or a process, you get what I'm saying? Or you're more reliable than such and such, or whatever the case may be. Or in the social circle, you the one that you answer all the questions. Right. You always answer your phone. You the go to. We a lot. On top of that, you gotta run a business. Yeah. Could you did you even imagine? Like, I'm a own my own business. What did you think that meant? That's a good question. That's a good question. Shout out to Tanetta. Shout out to Latina. Hey, Sister Latanya, what's good, y'all?
What did
you think that meant?
I thought that meant freedom. Right away, freedom. I thought that it meant just easy. If I'm being 100, if I'm being 100,
that's what we're doing.
What I thought was I was cutting out the middleman. I was a crisis stabilizer, and they was preventing me. And this goes to why I even became a therapist. I couldn't do certain stuff. How am I with these youth? I am them. Like, I'm clearly, y'all just told y'all my story, and that's just a little bit, I'm them. How are you? I know what will work for them. So if I got a girl, I had a youth. This is around the time where they were doing the stolen cars. Like, this was the first set of people that start doing this trend. And I had a girl, and I was just asking her, what would make you, stop stealing? You can get things the right way. You can get your license. They didn't want me to help her learn how to drive. You know what I'm saying? It was too much of a I get it. Like you can't let your client drive. I'm just a little different. Like I'm like whatever it takes to get these kids with they. I'm just gonna start my own stuff because if this baby is telling me that she's gonna stop, the way she was saying it, she didn't see the possibility that she can do it the right way.
Okay.
So if I'm putting the right way in her hand and I'm meeting them where they at, like y'all trained us to do, to me, and that's gonna make her stop doing this. I don't see if y'all holding me for my gift of what I know can help this baby, then I got to cut the middleman out. So then I transitioned. I started with Glow. I forgot your original question.
That's it. We'll get to there. So you were a crisis stabilizer. Okay. And how long did you do that for?
6 years.
For 6 years. So you were about how old before you decided to start Glow?
You heard that little hum, you know what I'm saying? I started going 2017. So when was that? I was in my 20s, late 20s.
Okay, so you were in your 20s.
20. Yeah. Yep.
In 20s, remember we're talking about estimates.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I was in my late 20s.
I was in my late 20s.
Yeah.
Sufficient.
Yeah.
Okay. And so once you did so as a crisis stabilizer, not yet a therapist.
No.
You decided I'm gonna start my own organization. Right? Who do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and mind you, a crisis stabilizer, not a therapist. You gonna have a business, and how we gonna get all this stuff done? That how am I gonna get my kids to?
I didn't even think about that.
You didn't think about it. You just was like, I'm gonna start my own business
because they was trapping our kids. Like y'all just. It's like I got on the other side. I got to peek on the other side to see what they was doing to our babies. Like y'all acting like this, but y'all really don't want the impact. So I'm like, I'm just gonna start my own organization. Like I want to start my own organization, and I want some girls, and I want to help change their life for real, without the politics, without the like. People don't understand. I walked away from $1 million contract with Glow. Because they wanted to tie me to policies that I don't believe in. You're not going to tie me to a policy. I know it. Come on, this is bigger than me. This is my calling. Money don't move me. You understand what I'm saying? Put me in a position to impact. So
do you know why money don't move you, right?
Because it's abundant. Because I serve a God.
Even before that, so because we serve God, we serve a God that know that it's all the way accessible. Money don't move you because you were exposed to how much. So you learned then. Come on, I'm helping you tap into all of that, sis.
Okay, come on, therapist, let's go. You know how you my spiritual therapist.
You learned money. You played with money. It didn't move you. You know what I'm saying? You understood that you made the money. The money was never going to be able to make you. Dang, you learned that off jump. You had to not be moved by all these thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. You had to not be moved by that. And so how? I got to put your hands on it. You got to touch that. It's got to be nothing to you because why? When you go forward and when you get these numbers got to look small to you. So I got to give you an experience. We all know, I want y'all to stop acting like, and y'all can be some kind of way if y'all want to, but we all know that the 12 disciples was gangsters, but that's another story. It's another story. They wasn't goody two shoes. Okay. And God used them very hard and very well. So follow me on that. So he gave you experiences. You understand what I'm saying? That would make it so it was even before you became dependent on God. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing to you because it's always been right here. It's like nothing. So what? I don't care. You can't throw no money at me and make me move. I don't care about that. Where's the principle? I
never put that together, and the way you just broke that down, that holds true. Because it's like how they came to me, I instantly turned into that. Like, okay, do what you got to do. Like, I don't. If you okay.
You was like, okay,
you come get her though.
About to make $1 million my own though.
Yeah.
So I've seen them numbers. It's nothing. Thank you though.
Yeah, he's like, well, maybe Glow's not the agency. I said, well, if you're expecting me to do this with that girl, then you're not the partner for Glow. Well, I'll call. Okay, you can call me back. That's cool.
And see, and that it took somebody who was unmoved. You get what I'm saying? Who was willing, who had steadfast in their resolve. You get what I'm saying? But you had to learn that. How did you learn that? Where'd you get all of that from? Somebody had to be willing to stand up for, to be willing to be loyal enough to the purpose, to the cause, as opposed to somebody that would be moved by this bread that some of these organizations be throwing their lives away because they don't know how to keep their hand out of a pot that don't belong to them. You understand me? Okay. It's terrible. So I thought too, I know that I relate to that. I was going to, we're getting to why she became a therapist. Y'all ride with me on that. So with those experiences that you had, now you got this organization, you working with the girls, you get what I'm saying? Still crisis stabilizer, not a therapist, you get what I'm saying? At some point you was like, okay, we in here, I got the groups going, I can still get this done, I get this done, but
I can't get nothing done.
Come on, talk to me.
I can't get nothing done.
Why not?
So when I opened Glow, I said I didn't want to do crisis stabilizing. I just offered mentorship because I knew the toll that it did for me mentally. This is before I became a therapist. This is before I understood mental health and stuff like that. So I'm just like, I want to make the impact without the toll. So I had mentorship. And the reason I became a therapist is because when I was mentoring those girls and engaging with those girls, I realized I couldn't go far with those girls because they were stuck.
Come on.
The story, so that's one reason why.
Come on now.
The next thing to that, so I started asking my mentee like questions like, what you and your therapist talk about? Like, what type of stuff y'all be in? Because now I need to understand what is the therapist. Because when I heard the word therapist and I be in these meetings, the therapists were the big people. We just the crisis stabilizer. So now I want to know what, right? You know, exactly and it's like, so when she was telling me, so she breaking it down, and she was like, basically, you. That's what she said. So that same client, when we went to her house, she had severe depression, and the team said that they wanted that she should be on medication. And when we told her dad, he was like, she ain't no motherfucking depressed. We live in the hood. Everybody depressed. She better go eat some cereal and lay her ass down. That was his exact words. I'll never forget it. Absolutely. So when he said that, I don't believe in medicine. Mind you, crisis stabilizer, 99% of my clients have some type of mental diagnosis. So I'm used to dealing with individuals with some type of mental health diagnosis. And when he said that, I instantly was like, I need to become a therapist because I was the only Black person on there. I was the mentor. And I knew that his daughter probably needs to be on medication. Again, I don't believe in medication, but this baby was struggling bad. But I knew in that moment, if he didn't hear it from somebody who looked like him, who can break it down and help him understand, all right, it got to be more of him out here. I need to go be a therapist so I can really help save my people.
Come on, because the therapist was the one that was in charge in your mind in the moment. I hear you. Come on, keep talking. Come on. All right. Yeah.
So I'm like, I gotta go be a therapist. I'm like, I gotta be a therapist so I can break this stuff down to my people. I said, because we gotta understand what's going on. And I went back to school. I looked it up, and I started to school to be a therapist. But even in that class, I was the only Black person in my class for a long time, and really? I was in class with mostly white girls, and some of their parents worked at like Rogers, so they spoke a language. You know, imagine my kids now going to school. I'm therapist, so they can speak a different language. So they spoke a language. I was intimidated. You know, here I am, an inner city girl. Who you think you are? They know all these big words. I didn't even supposed to be in the master's because my undergrad wasn't in psychology. But God is God. They like, you can't qualify. And then he called me back like, if you take this one course within 30 days, we will let you transfer here, and you got to write us a letter. Bet, say less. Cool. Did the course in like 3 days. Because I'm for real. Because when something, again, mind you, when I started Glow, I didn't know that was my calling. Come on. I didn't know anything about purpose and calling or anything. That's not in my speech. My homegirl was doing an interview like this, and she was talking about callings and ministry.
Okay.
Her podcast was ministry and business. So she was talking to me, and then she was like, yeah, because your ministry grow. I'm like, what you mean ministry? She was like, what you mean? She was like, you don't understand? Like, your glow is your ministry. You understand?
Yes,
and when she said that, I started tapping into God more.
Uh-huh.
And that's how I became more open. That's how I became more connected. I grew up in church. My granddad was a pastor. Like, my mom and like we went to church. Like, we the grandkids that used to run and hide because we didn't want him to come make us go to church.
Funny, but okay.
But I didn't know God.
Come on.
So fast forward to
he knew you though. But that's
the whole time, but we gonna get like that.
Yeah, so the whole time. Wait a minute.
So gangster. Yeah. So fast forward. So I decided to go to school. I'm in class with all these girls. They're saying these big words that I don't know. So I used to open my notebook up and sneak and write the words in the back of my notebook so I can go home and Google what it meant. All the way until I felt so intimidated, all the way until one day, and I say this story often, all the way until one day, one of the girls came in and she was like outraged. We was in our internship practice. No, she was in her internship practice. I was still new in the program, and she was so like crying. She didn't know how to deal with this client. And when I was telling her, I was like, what's up with the client? The client was black, she was white. And I was like, what? I was like, tomorrow when you go there, all you got to do is say X, Y, and Z. I don't remember exactly what I was telling her. And she was like, all right. She went to go try it, and she was like, that worked. And in that moment, I said, I can learn what y'all could, but y'all can never learn what I'm finna go mess it up. Girl, I got to studying. I got to taking this serious. I got to, because all them experiences that I dealt with younger, I know how now I'm on both sides. It was like that, mama girl, and it's been up ever since. I ain't gonna lie, sis.
I love that, because then what you happened is you realized that you had something.
That whole
you had something, a tool that they didn't have access to. So when the moment you feel like you amongst people that you should be intimidated by, you just realize, I just one up you because I have something that you could never get. I have a tool that you'll never gain access to. Hello, love. Come on, smile at me one time. Yes, I love it. Thank you. Bring it on in here. Yes, indeed. You understand what I'm saying? So that there was that moment you realized that I have a tool that I want to be able to use that you could never attain.
It did. So
thank you very much. And then you adjusted yourself. I'm just collar a little bit. So she's like, how are you doing this?
Y'all better be counting in this lady chair. I'm just gonna tell y'all right now. Y'all think I play.
Hilarious.
She be on it, but that's what happens.
You pop your collar, set your spine up a little bit. It was like I'm in it. But now, listen to what I want you to know. And I'm telling y'all this. I'm giving y'all these breakdowns. Y'all know how I love to be able to let you know the person. Like, that's so important. Like, then we can talk about the things that it'll make sense why those other things she's accomplished. It'll make complete and utter sense. You'll have no opportunity to say, Mickell, I don't even know how she because of this. Because of these experiences, because she realized something and then she grabbed a hold. You know what I'm saying? That this bull by the horns and went ham with it. You know what I'm saying? You think about that, and these are things that now, what I'm hoping, and then we just getting our feet wet. But what I'm hoping is that you are taking this information and that it is opening your eyes up to yourself as well. And so now that when you look at you, you see these things now too. You know what I mean? Because like, so when I see you and I'm like, I'm honored that you are here and that you are my first guest for this year. You know what I'm saying? I definitely have learned to love you, like in words I just can't explain. I have mad respect for you as a businesswoman. You know what I'm saying? As a woman in itself, just a person. You know what I'm saying? And so getting to know you and learn you is a beautiful thing for me. And I think it's magnificent for people to get a chance to see these parts of you so that not only do you show up with the degree and the business behind your back, because people automatically try to respect, quote unquote, and I use light air quotes when I say that, something of that magnitude, when they think that she a boss, she this, so good. But when people know you or think they know you per se, then the relationship that they establish with you, the connection that they become, the tie is real.
Gotcha.
Okay. That's the part that's like, think about it. Think about this. Perfect example is if you were a singer, a celebrity, who's your favorite singer? Anybody?
I don't even want to say because people go.
I love Al Green. They rip me every day. Robert is your boy. Okay, why? No disrespect to who he is as an artist. We're not gonna talk about right. Okay, as an artist
because he is his slow jams. I'm a hopeful romantic, and listening to his music used to give me a fantasy that one day love is real. The way I want to feel it. So that's why I don't know.
And that's okay. It's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here to validate for that for you. Knowing him as a person is not the same thing as we're not talking about him as a person. We're talking about his music,
right?
And the terrible mistakes that he's made. We're not going to go there. We already know it's happening. As an artist, he tapped into a part of your heartstring that made you realize this is how I want to be loved. Yeah. This is how I want to be. We're going to celebrate that because that's a beautiful thing. As an artist, he did his job. You get what I'm saying? Because you're supposed to care for him and draw strength to him because he know how you feel. He can speak to your heart. He can hear all the things. But see, is that is why your youth love you. Same reason.
Come those. Okay, where the tissue at this
you so
I really did want to cry.
This is why your staff ride for you. You get what I'm saying? And I need people to understand, like, when we talk about when people, let me run this back so I make it make sense. I was never the most talented vocalist in my group. These chicks were singing circles around me. Man, crazy. But I love them for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, my gosh, I used to be like this while we were singing, and they were like, "Sing your part," because they were singing so hard. And do the thing, because they were killing it. But when I realized, so what I brought to the table was something different. So I acknowledged that, whatever. But what I learned is that there is a it factor that people, I used to think it was just artists, think it was just celebrities, whatever, that people have, that people are drawn to it. People are respecting it. You get what I'm saying? They don't even know why they love the it, but they do. But what I realized, what I learned over the years is that you tapped into something for them, whatever that little heartstring was, and now they love you. And once someone loves you, they are willing to do whatever. They go the extra mile when they love you. Sometimes people love you and they don't even know that they love you because we don't really learn, and some of us really don't know what love is. And it's not just like that little feeling. I don't mean like romantic love. I mean that little flicker of spark in your spirit that draws you, that now we are officially connected. Whether it's a tie, whether it's an emotion or whatever, you've done something to be able to pull a heartstring of mine, and now I believe in you. You get what I'm saying? And the I believe in you will get in a room full of people. Maybe you can sell them the shoes that they wear. You understand what I'm saying?
Like that. I'm just gonna have to. I'm gonna call you once a week and just be like, put me on. Y'all better. Y'all see how much? That's the part. I be listen. Y'all don't understand the nuggets she dropping.
I'm telling y'all, this is what it is. When people love you, they are willing to do ... Okay, and for someone to love you, you have to be willing. I love you too, mommy. And for someone to love you, you have to be willing. It don't have to be big. Just a small enough piece of vulnerability and connection. So now they feel like you understand. You get me. And from a human standpoint, as a regular people, that's the one thing that ties us all together. You understand me. And because you understand me, now we together. And some people it be real bad.
That's I remember
real bad.
that's real talk. One of my professors had taught us that. Sorry, I'm kicking this off. One of my professors taught us that. He said, your job is to build a rapport with your clients, because if a client,
that's the word. Yes.
if a client likes you and have that rapport with you, that's 30% of the outcome of therapy. Right there.
That's it.
Just that relationship alone. And he said they care less about the tools and more that you understood them.
That's right.
And if you remember that, you're going to go far.
That's right.
And for you to say that, I'm like, that's what he meant.
I did that. Thank you for that confirmation.
That's what he meant. Yeah.
I remember when we were growing up and we were singing and the group was fresh. And I'm like, okay, these girls, they whatever it is that I had was enough that they decided that I deserved to be in the group too. So I wasn't tripping on that. I love to sing. I love doing it. I think I did pretty good at holding my own in that space. So it was okay. But it was something missing. And mom told me one year, she was like, y'all just blah.
Like that.
Let me gather my spirit real quick because I felt that all over again.
What?
Listen, my mom was my manager.
Oh.
Okay. And she was the Ike Turner in the back of the room manager.
Gotcha.
I know. How did you miss that step? How did you miss that? I'm like,
got you. Got you.
Okay.
Got you.
Missed step. I was on the bus in a blizzard and didn't make it home in time for rehearsal. I was late and got fined. I was like, but I was on a bus in a blizzard. She said, you stopped to call for one reason and you didn't stop to call to say that you was blizzarding late. Fine. Bam. Okay, I just want to throw that out there. It's not a game. She was not a game. It was no jokes to be played with Teresa. Okay. So and I was like, it's something. And mind you, we was doing our performances, doing our things, and the movie The Temptations came out. And there was a part in the movie they was pissed off because the writer had wrote Papa Was a Rolling Stone, and the man told him, he said, man, you know my daddy was born on that day. And he was like, change the lyric. He was like, no, not changing it. And it was like, why, man, why won't you change the lyric?
Yep.
He's like, no, because it whatever it is, it's good. That now I can feel what you're saying. Now you sing the song like you mean it now. Goodbye. And he walked out and wouldn't. They was pissed off, and he didn't. But one of the most heartfelt songs at that moment, they realized that they wasn't delivering because they was keeping something from the audience, keeping something off the mic. You know what I'm saying? We're all on the mic. We're all on the stage.
Yeah.
We wasn't doing that. I didn't know that we wasn't doing that. And I didn't know how to do it because I didn't know what it took to do that. Bullshit you not. Afrofest 1 year, Shantae Moore, one of the little small stages on the backstage, the sound equipment went out. They something with the lights and the sound, and she was standing there and they was like, do a sound check. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna do a sound check. This woman, I got chills right now just thinking about it. She stood there in the middle of the smaller stage and waiting them for the equipment or whatever. And she's like, I know y'all bored. Don't worry about it. We got y'all, whatever. And she sang for us a cappella with no music background, no nothing, just her, no special effects on her voice, just a microphone in her. And baby, the audience was in tears. Me too. And we just standing there watching her, and something clicked. I was like, I got it. I got it. I know how to do it. I know how to do it now. Because I watched her in that moment, and I realized that we weren't vulnerable enough when we were singing those lyrics. Dang. We weren't available enough to the content, to our audience, so that they can connect with us. And then the moment after that, we ended up doing the show. You couldn't tell me nothing after that.
So what it be though? Like, is it like, do your voice change, or is it just the energy behind it?
It's the energy behind it that changed. And so it wasn't my vocal ability. It was the amount of passion that I had when I did it, and that I meant everything that I said.
And you can hear that.
And you can hear it and feel it. And then I found out it translates over recordings. It translates when you live. If you don't mean it, somebody can tell. And if they know you mean it, when they connect with you, that is when they fall in love.
Gotcha.
Because they knew you meant it and they mean it too in the life, the struggles that they having right now.
Yeah.
And my life is terrible and I'm a her too. She feel me. And right there in that moment, y'all become connected. And that is the difference between having people think you a great artist and people thinking you a good artist. People think you good and people think you great because they love you and they've connected. I didn't know that. But when I found out,
it was on and popping.
It was on and popping.
It was on and popping.
Could not never.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And I wanted that so bad. And it's not something that I could teach. I try to teach the other girls and we were talking about it. And then eventually one at a time they was getting it. So which made us that much different. You get what I'm saying? So when we performed and we rocking out and sharing all this love, we were literally sharing all this love. Exactly. People here in the city that do that all the time. And I stand there by 100. Oh, you know who Adi Mack is? Adi Amor. Have you ever heard of the group Growing Nation? Okay, so he used to be the lead singer for Growing Nation, right? And he still got his own albums, whatever. But when Adi sing, baby, let me tell you, how you I don't care what he's singing, you believed it, and you was like, oh, I should slap who? How many times?
I'm going to go do it right
now because how many just walk and do it?
Yeah,
because he whatever love that he was experiencing, you knew he meant it. Whatever pain he was, you can feel all of that. And I'm saying all of that so you understand this is what you bring to Glow because you studied, because you watched, because it was you. And so now when you stand up and you speak to those girls, not even talking about the staff, when you stand up and speak to the girls, they believe you.
That's so deep.
They believe you, and your staff believe that you mean it. You get what I'm saying? That's why it's like, how am I soft? No, you're not soft. You love, and they know it. They know it.
I swear, I'll be like, am I soft? Am I tripping? Like, look, that be the innocent in me. Like, am I making them feel like they can't help me? No, ma'am. Listen, come on back.
This
Mickell.
is right here. Yeah. They know you. They know that, and because they know that you giving them an opportunity to share that, to be a part of that. You get what I'm saying? So with that being the case, when you in that classroom and now you done found out, oh, I got something that they can connect to. I can teach you how to talk to the young people. Oh, I'm really in the right spot now.
It was over.
Yep. See? It was over.
It was over.
Come on, y'all.
Listen, and that's when I knew, because at that same time, simultaneously, is when I had recently discovered that Glow was bigger than me. It wasn't just because I was moving, but I didn't understand why. I didn't understand I didn't understand how I skipped lines for people applying for certain things. And I didn't get any of that. So at the same time, it's like when she did that, it ignited a power inside of me where I started being like, then that's when I got connected to my girl, Sarah Jakes Roberts, like not literally, but literally in my mind. That's my girl. That's my girl. And when I got connected with her, and just was listening to her, I'm like, because one of my cousins actually texted me like, have you ever heard of Sarah? I'm like, She was like, she remind me of you. You should listen to her. And when I started listening to her and I'm going to these classes, like you said, now I'm sitting up better. Now I'm turning in assignments early because now I'm like, I gotta study this. Now I'm like really into it because I understood that it was bigger than me. But then when we fast forward though, and I did end up graduating, and I was so excited. My senior year, not senior year, that's high school. Is it senior year? Whatever. Okay, my bad. So I ended up doing that, and I was so excited. I will not say the name of the organization, but I was so excited to join this organization or group of women. After I graduated, like, oh, I can be one of y'all now. And because I saw them at Malele Cox event and they were just talking, and it was these boss women. Because all my friends were either still in the street still or mentors, but I didn't have any licensed therapists, mental health. I didn't transfer over like that yet. So they were inspiration to me. So I'm like, oh, I really got to graduate. I want to be a part of them or whatever. So then you fast forward when I wanted to be a part of them, it was okay when I was the little glow girl, like, oh, glow, amazing, doing things. But then when I graduated and I was not afraid anymore, the world can see me.
Yeah.
Now it's a problem. So that triggered me. And although I was a therapist, Patrice, I didn't broadcast. My website used to be, it was my name, but it was talking about business coaching because when they did, I didn't believe I was a therapist. So can we talk about that?
Yeah. Okay, so they made you feel inadequate? The organization.
Yes. So graduated anyway
with your bachelor's. Is that correct?
With my master's.
You done graduated with your master's.
I first graduated with associates. Okay. That's when my mama used to take me to college.
Okay, right. Then and you had associates in
human services.
Okay, come on.
And then I went back for my bachelor's because when dang, you making me really realize how this is deeper than I thought. Because the only reason why I got my associates is because I wanted to, like, ain't no way my mom put in all this work. Like, I got it, and I promised I was going to graduate. I got an associate's, but I didn't get that associate's in 2 years. I got that associate's. It probably took me about 7 years to get an associate's because the back and forth, the life, what I'm doing. I got my associate's. The only reason why I got my bachelor's is because they wasn't respecting me in the field. And it's like, y'all not respecting me. I'm the one really, the front runners is the one really, we're the ones with our youth really impacting them. When we're in these meetings, the therapist asking me questions about the youth and all of this. They don't respect me. And by this time I had Glow now. This Glow is a baby. They wasn't respecting me. Y'all not going to respect me. I am the Glow girls. I am the clients that y'all hire. I overcame this thing, but y'all not going to okay, let me go get this little cute bachelor so y'all can respect me a little bit more. So that's when I got my bachelor's in human services management. And that's why that did not qualify for the clinical psychology program that I was trying to apply for. And I had to go take a psychology class on another online. And that's when I finished that and was able to get in that program. Yeah. So after I went and I became the therapist, I'm excited to join this group of women. And when my posture got up, because when I first graduated, I'm gonna go back to that in a minute, but when I first graduated, although I graduated, I didn't believe I was a therapist. Y'all, it took me a long time to introduce myself as a therapist. We're going to talk about my amazing husband later, but it took me a long time to say out of my mouth. And shout out to one of my I can say this because he put this. I don't break HIPAA, but since he put this, shout out to one of my that's listening.
Yeah.
I was just in this oh my gosh, another aha moment, because this event I met him on was my first event as therapist, and this same event, these girls saw that, and because it had Dr. Mickell D on there, they made so many reports and everything. And when I found out who it was, I was so hurt because they're like, she shouldn't have doctor. I said, the hood called me doctor because they ain't never seen the black therapist that's going to sit with them on third or whatever. And I said, my professor told me that, like, Dr. Phil ain't no, like, doctor is a name. So it was this big thing where they made a report and they were about to take my license. So when they was about to take my license, because now I'm going, so now I got my lawyers, now I got my consultants, and we like, what are we gonna do? They like, you did nothing wrong. And they was like, oh, and then they was like, well, we don't like that she don't have, when you first when you first graduate, what people don't understand, y'all need to start respecting therapists, because not only do we get our masters, you still got to do 2 more years of hours in the field and all of this. So when you first graduate, you LPCIT. So they didn't like that I was calling myself therapist Mickell D, because now I'm therapist, because now I done met, now I'm like this me, and now I'm that. They didn't like that. She shouldn't be able to call herself that. And they like, so I had to do this whole investigation and all of that. And they literally like was going on my websites. It was a whole investigation. And they like, she didn't do nothing wrong. The Madison called me like, you didn't do anything wrong. You don't have to remove anything. you are a therapist, you know? So I'm already graduating, not saying I'm a therapist. Here I am finally bold enough to be like, okay, I'm therapist. This Black girl know how to change lives, you know? And then they shut me down. That was a trigger for me because my cousins always made me feel like I had to dim my light. So one of a therapist I was cool with, I was talking to her about it and I'm just venting to her about it. And then I'm crying because now I'm realizing I'm triggered. This reminded me of the bully. You know, I got my forehead. My cousins used to give it to me, you know? So I'm like, this reminded me of them. And she like, Mickell, so you mean to tell me that you didn't think somebody was going to hate on you? I said, I'm not saying that. I got hated on my whole life. I just think y'all was going to be the ones to do it to me. Y'all just like them. And when I said that, she sought me. I guess what you said, when you feel seen and all that, because that's my guy. Like, I got a whole respect for her because she saw me in that moment. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. Like, why my people, I'm so excited. Like, the women I was hanging with, shout out to my mentor, we were Black women. Like, they were older than me. They embraced me. They had a lot to do with why my posture is the way my posture is. So for me to get around these other women and they get intimidated, we're going to call a spade, like, because I can't wait to this next year May, or I'm gonna talk big stuff, baby. But y'all fake. Y'all, that's so wrong to me. Like, I'm a woman for real. I'm a girl's for real. Like, I'm in this for real. And y'all knocking somebody down. Instead, if you felt I did something incorrectly, why not be like, sis, let me tell you about this. I've been in the game for 10 years. If you do this what you looking at. So you better, but do this, say it like this. Why you do that? You know what I'm saying? They tried to snatch the rug under me before I can even, you know what I'm saying, become. But then I serve a good God though, because there's some things that happen after that, you know, and it fired me up. Y'all wanted to break me, but that fired me up because then I launched 3 more contracts after that. Now I'm big therapist Mickell D. Now, because they done said I can, I'm this. Now I'm changing my site from, again, remember, I never really said I was a therapist. So now my site went from lifestyle coach to redo it. I'm therapist. I'm out here because I remember crying shout out to my amazing husband. Because I remember telling him like, man, I feel like they make me want to choose. Like, I either got to be Mickey or I got to be Mickell. I feel like in the therapy world, I only can be Mickell. I can't be Mickey. I can't be what I am right now. Like, I got to, you know, how you doing? So what is happening is when your neuroreceptors go to, I got to be like that over there. I can't be Mickey, you know, but when I'm over here, they want Mickey. Come on, man. They don't want Mickell. You understand what I'm saying? They just want you understand what I'm saying? They want the dad. They don't respect me as a therapist. So then unconsciously triggering, I go back to my shell when I'm over here. So now I'm reprogramming my brain that you're not good enough. You're not the therapist. And that man looked me dead in my eyes, my husband, and he said, you're both. That's why I got duality tatted on me. You're both. He said the world needs you to be both because Mickey is going to get you through some doors and that Mickell is going to tell them and explain it in the way they need to have it explained so they can understand it. You need both of those people. So, and then he said, and vice versa on the other side, Mickell going to open them doors for you. And then in those doors, they going to need Mickey to break it down. So you need to be both. And when he said that, my life was up. That was it. How freeing is that? Where you finally went through all these stages in your life, not knowing who you were, because you have to wear so many different masks. And you finally meet your person and you realize that you was her the whole time. And all you had to do was be her. It's over. And I know we're going to talk about Facebook and why I deleted it, but that's why. Like, when you discover that, that's so freeing. Now I want to go help so many people see that, you know, like people, we skip this is the short version, but I skipped the divorces. You understand? I skipped the behind scenes of courts. After courts, moving state, kids got to go back here. I skipped that. I skipped finding out employees stealing. I skipped that part, finding out new laws and this. I skipped those things. Like, no, it's that. So sometimes I just be saying, people, y'all, women, we do so much. We wear so many masks. That's why that's my TED talk, because I lived it. we wear so many masks, and sometimes we wear so many, we really forget our real face. You know? So that's I'm sorry, I don't went deep and stuff, but that's how it is. Yeah, I don't
you tapping into yourself.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
tapping
You
into
put
the
that
moment.
energy
Yeah,
that's it. This is an exclusive right here. Because I never gonna get it this far. I'm telling you.
Listen, D. Mickell said, say that. D. Mickell said, with Mrs. Glow International.
Hey.
Listen, I'm just saying, Andron Lane commented, he said, she saved my life from committing suicide. She's the real deal.
Oh,
and he was definitely talking about you. He said, for real. And then he said, love hearing the two most influential women in my life. We love you too, Andron. Absolutely. I'm like I said, I'm this is just doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I want you to see you.
Devon should have warned me about sitting in your seat, because I know plenty of people gonna be like, what?
Listen, it's a beautiful thing for them to be able to know you enough. You get what I'm saying? Think about it. Who really knew Michael Jackson? Them people didn't know Michael Jackson, but baby, they was jumping fence, climbing walls. You see, same concept, just enough so they can feel a part of who you are as a person. And these are the things that we respect. You know what I'm saying? We respect your journey. We respect your obstacles. We respect how you overcome. You know what I'm saying? And being able to honor you in that aspect. People just look up and see you and be like, she first of all, you don't know where she came from, and you don't know how she got there. And there are other people who know some of the journey that can stand aside and be like, don't talk trash if you ain't walked a mile in her shoes. But you know, one of my platforms here is so that we learned how to communicate effectively. We have to listen well. We have to be able to offer a quality analysis of what we've heard, and so that we can respond according to what we heard and not according to what we feel, because it's easy to be miscued by that. You know what I'm saying? And how do you manage that as the person who was often misunderstood, as the person who is often looked past or trying to turn all the lights off? Why you want me to turn all my lights off? What did my light shining makes the room brighter? It doesn't dim your light. It doesn't change, take away from.
Say that one more time. They gotta hear that.
I said my light shining makes the room brighter. It will never dim your light. This is why they say. So I use that when I'm doing when we're just doing spirit building. We talk about candles, and I have my client light a candle. She light the candle, and then I light a candle, right? And so, but it'd be a minute in the room, and then with the lights on or whatever, and then I turn my candle up, and now you can see that the room was darker. Not because with the light, you light a candle, you don't pay attention, her candle lit or whatever, and then when I light the candle, you just think that we got these two bright lights, and you can't really tell whose light is what, and people want to be noticed or recognized so badly, as opposed to not just be a part of the collective. And you're not a part of the collective. You're still an individual. You're still a part of you're still an individual, because once I turn my light off, then you see the light in the room change. Turn your light back on. Why? Now we got extra shadows. Now you need my light. We needed it before. You get what I'm saying? And it's as simple as this. And I'm gonna show the light again. So it's a light on that side of the room, but it's light over my head. Watch this. A few minutes ago, we was doing fine. If I started the show like this, y'all would think everything was fine, right? And then if I automatically did this, wow, you would be like, okay, what's brighter is brighter. And then we going through the show, and then I went back to this. They'd be like, why it's so dark? A few minutes ago, that's how we started the show. You feel me? So it doesn't matter if I'm adding light, as long as I'm not taking your light away.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we doing. We just adding light. You know what I'm saying? Look at you, geek up.
I'm feeling that. I ain't gonna lie.
Have it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's why when I do shows like this, I want people to see you. People don't know why you became a therapist. People don't know what your story is, and do you really mean it? You get what I'm saying? And people looking for somebody we're looking for somebody. We changing. We looking to change lives as a consumer, as a stepmom, as a parent, as an aunt, whatever. I want my youth to work with a provider, a caregiver who mean it. We always talk about these teachers don't care no more. No more. But that teachers care. Everybody just trying to get their money. There are some, but when did they become the majority? Never. You don't sign up to be a teacher unless you mean it.
That's for real.
Like, I'm just keeping it one. Nobody signs up to be a teacher unless you mean it. It's some people that sign up to be nurses that didn't really mean it because they thought it was some quick bread, or care providers because they want the quick bread and they don't want to do the work. But you don't spend 8 hours a day in a class.
Hey, it's more like somebody else. You got a grade paper.
You know what I'm saying? In the room with them kids, and you don't mean it.
Yeah.
No, you don't mean it. So when you create an organization that is geared toward changing lives and giving you the tools that you need so that as you are moving through this journey, you don't get lost. That you got resources because you are underserved in some areas, or you just may be unaware. You're not lacking intelligence. You are lacking knowledge. That's information. It's a difference. You're not slow. You're just uninformed. You know what I'm saying? And so we want to be able to provide the things that you need so that you can be a success.
Absolutely.
And this is how you get that. Somebody who knows, I need to have all these tools together so that I can give you the tools that you need. Wait a minute. I can't teach you that. Give me 1 second. I can teach you now though. But I can't provide you what? You know what I'm saying? That's dedication to the month. Oh, she said, no. You ain't got to worry about it. And if I don't have it, and if just imagine, this is before you had a team. This was before when you was bootstrapping. You know what I'm saying? When you was like, I'm just gonna learn all the things that I need to learn so that I can be able, and I'm gonna get all the certifications, get all the licenses, know all the background, everything that I need to do so that I can provide these services. How many kids is it now? 30. I probably can't do 30 by myself. How many? I gotta find somebody to help.
I can't be at this Boys and Girls Club and that Boys and Girls Club. Dang.
I gotta find somebody to help.
Oh, that's scary. I gotta trust somebody with my baby. Are you gonna see the vision like I see it? Are you meaning it like I'm meaning it? Are you in it for just a check? Because I'm mission based. Are you gonna understand the call and the mission? You understand? So it got real like
that's
that.
What I'm saying. And it gets real.
Because
how do you decide? Like that. How do you decide?
I stay stuck. And if I'm being funky, Glow, when I first got Glow, when Glow first launched, it was in the duplex. Me and my ex-husband on a duplex, and I moved Glow downstairs, and I stayed in that duplex. Well, we call it the Glow House. I stayed in the Glow House for some years, and I remember we were separated and going through the divorce. So it's like, okay, what's the transition? And I was riding in a car with one of my homeboys, and he like, why you never thought about a building or whatever? Because I was talking about apartments. I was like, I want like these apartments for the girls. And he like, have you ever thought about a building and then the apartments at the top? I'm like, what you talking about? Apartments ain't at the top of the on buildings. He like, fool, yes it is. I was like, show me. Come on.
Show me. Come on.
We went riding, and he was like, see, first he took me to Bay Shore. He's like, you see the building? You know, I never realized there was apartments above. Yes, ma'am. I never knew that. And I was like, talk about stuff in plain sight that you don't pay attention to. So then he's showing me, then we go to the hood. Now we on Center. He like, see that one? Then I'm looking at different buildings like, oh, okay. Like, he like, that's how that one connected, whatever. I'm like, okay, bet, say less. Dion, I'm on the building. What I need to do to get the building? You know, any of this, you need to know any of that. So then, this the transparency. I remember, so I put that out there because I just know to put stuff out there, and I'm a woman of my word, so I'm putting it out there. I'm gonna come back to it soon. So I remember when we end up so Dion ended up finding me. She ended up finding me my building, Glow's original headquarters. And I remember after closing, I cried because I'm like, what was I thinking? Like, I was so in the, what was I thinking? But the transparency moment is when I first got it, I'm like, I don't know if I want to put Glow over there. I didn't know if I wanted to put Glow over there because I said it's going to make me too big. Now they're going to see me because now I'm just a cute little organization that do pop-up shops and all of that. And I still at least can be Mickey a little bit on the weekends. Ain't nobody looking at me. The news don't know. So I was for to block my blessing because I was afraid to be me. Like I was afraid. So in that moment, this is when I knew. This this is the Trump chair.
I'm not never sitting here again. I'm like, go ahead. Yeah.
So well, I said the wrong word yesterday. It's CB. What's the one that's not the
CBD?
CBD. So my one of my homegirls used to sell CBD, and I was like, at the time, my now ex-husband. This is when I knew, like, I'm doing this last court. This is the divorce. I'm going through this. It's because I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this. I'm like, I'm going to be open. I was like, I'll be telling people that when people ask me about it, I'll be telling them that she do it. And I'm like, this don't make me too big. Then I'm going to feel guilty because this is something about me. Like, I'm real through and through, So if I'm going to make this jump, that means I got to stop a whole bunch of behaviors that I know I'm doing that's okay. But I know God, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's that. So I'm like, okay, so I'm going. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. Like, I don't know. And he like, what? That's so stupid. Why would you even? You don't know me. But by this time, I'm starting to heal, so I'm getting that. I wasn't. You only wanted me to be Mickell too, So I conformed because I was so tired of the streets and all of that. He was something different. He wants the hood niggas that I'm used to dealing with. He got the 9 to 5. I remember he paid with something with a car, a bank card. I would call my mom like, oh my gosh, he paid with it with a card. Mind you, I'm in my 20s. Because all the niggas I messed with paying with cash. So then I conform. So now I'm just Mickell around him because now I'm changing and I respect his position in my life because in hindsight now I see the position. He helped me grow up. Like he helped me, like when I first got with him, I used to pay We Energies whenever I felt like paying We Energies. Like he taught me about no, pay your bills on time. And so I'm no discredit to him. However, when you're growing as a person, as a woman, and you for real, and you really tuning in, and you really putting in the work, and you really going to therapy and all that, if somebody else not doing their own internal work, eventually you're going to outgrow them. Your mindset, you're a different person, and I was becoming a different person in front of him, and he wasn't seeing it. He saw me as that little girl because he was older than me. So it's like you're not moving. So in that moment, this is the time now. I'm tired of just being Mickell. I want to be Mickey because now I done did the businesses. Now I got the houses. Now I done focused. Now my credit good, whatever. Now I want to know who I am again. And when I was doing that, he didn't accept it. So when he didn't understand for what I was saying in that moment, I'm like, you don't know me. Because the person who, if I'm gonna say no comparison, but when it's the difference between when you marry because society tell you that's what you're supposed to do, and we were married legally for 10 years, versus you getting your person. I am two different people night and day, not because of anything other because I'm connected to my person. I'm light. This is my second time around. My life was dope in my 20s because, like you said, it was in stuff. Like I had that. I had properties. I had all of that. But it's a difference between that version and then when you with your person. Because now your light is with your own light and now you being able to elevate. So I knew that he was my person because he didn't get that. Whereas now my person now will understand. And we were able to break it down and let me understand how this is me trying to block my blessing and it's this. So you got to just be careful. I just wanted to be having that transparency moment that people say that, people who are saying they have goals, you say you want to level up, you say that, but stop and pause and ask yourself, do you got the mental to really level up? Because I wanted the building, I closed on the building, and then I'm like, do I even want this? Like, do I want this? So make sure you're prepared mentally to go to that next level, because if you go to that next level on that little girl, like that little level stuff, you're going to fail. It was hard for me to change my mindset, but I was willing to do that for my calling and my purpose. It was hard. I'm inner city. I had to change my life. So y'all want to transition and y'all want to say y'all want these things. If you're not for real about it, it's not going to last. You can't play healing. You can't act like you a servant. You got to be for real. You got to change your ways. And when you change your ways, that's when your blessings come. So all the people who be looking at my life like, I want a man like D, I want businesses like that, I want that. Y'all got to understand, I do this work for real. And if you're not ready to do the work, then you got to be mindful of what you asking for.
Did you hear what she said? You did. She said, my bad. I'm sorry.
It just be coming.
But that's how it's supposed to come. That was a message right here. Let it be.
I need this recorded.
And she's like, wait, it is recorded. We live streaming. We on YouTube. It's recorded. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like, ooh. Yeah.
I never told my story. I want to say, G, I never just kicked in and told my story. I'm like, Dad, you got a story.
You got a story.
You got a story to the point. My son, in December, my son, he is back in Milwaukee, and he is with my mom, and he found a diary of mine. The diary, I was in the 9th grade. And he was like, Mom, I found the old diary, but I didn't read it. He was FaceTiming me. Like, Mom, I found your old diary, but I didn't read it. So now we FaceTime and we just talking. And I had said something. He like, yeah, like that one time you dropped Nene off to Brittany because you said you was finna go get the pistol and go ride down on my dad. I said, what? I thought you didn't read. He was like, Mom, I didn't read all of it. I didn't. He said, but listen, Mom, but I'm telling you, he said, after I looked at some of it, he said, I look at you so different. You for real. Like you was about that. Like you changed. Like he was able, him seeing the younger me talk like that made my son respect me more. Cause now he like, I seen the transformation, but I don't know you came from that. Like I seen this transformation, but you was that for real. And now you this, mama. And I know your heart and all. Oh, you need to write a book. And it's like, now you got me out here telling my story out my head and out loud. And it's like, oh, I did. God did get me out that. Oh, I should have. Oh.
Welcome to March, baby. This is Women's History Month. And now we are learning about your history and what makes you the woman that you are. Yeah, don't you just love me? I love you. She's like, wait a minute. Yeah. Take a minute. Take a breath. It's okay.
Oh yeah, it's the energy. We tapped in. It's so good.
Do it. I'm glad. And I think that seeing those, hearing you, I hope that you learn to respect who you were. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of doing what society typically expects us to do and tuck her away and scold her. You get what I'm saying? She'd already been through the thing. You get what I'm saying? But it's because of the things that she's been through that you're able to make the choices. You know what I'm saying? That you're able to do the research, that you're able to lock in when you lock in. It's because of some of the choices that she made. You know what I'm saying? And you like, so yeah, good looking. Thanks, Mickey.
Listen, you see, Brittany called me Mickey like in the beginning. When people call me Mickey, I'm like,
way back. Brett, yeah.
When people call me Mickey, I'll be like, I used to run from it. I remember I remember one of my youth when I first had the Glow House, and one of my youth was like, my auntie said she know you. She went to school with you. I'm like, yeah. She was like, you went by Mickey. I said, what's your auntie name? Like, what's your auntie name? But yeah, it's crazy. I learned through healing and saying my story, like sharing like things with D, and then saying it out loud, doing shadow work for real, and realizing like, dang, you was the bad person in that, and accepting that. And um I'm like, you crazy when you think of something and then you laughing at yourself like, dog, you was bogus for that. And I had to really eat that. But once I started doing that work, I began to accept Mickey more. And I started realizing that people made me hold her hostage and be afraid of the things she did. And because I held her hostage, they held her hostage. Meaning I wasn't moving a certain way with my ex now, because I'm like, what if he say something? What if he say that? Like he doing all this dirty work. I'm talking stuff like stuff, like wanting to do stuff to Glow, wanting to sue Glow, like all, like what if? Because I can stand on them. You understand what I'm saying? I can do that, but what if I had to go heal and I had to unlock Mickey myself, and now I'm able to say stuff like this because it's my story. What you gonna say? This your story. All the women out there, that's your story. That's your story. Can't nobody make you feel bad about your story. That's your story. And show yourself grace, because the version you are now didn't know. The version you are now, no. The version you were then, didn't know. Show her grace. She did and operated on what she knew. However, respect her, because she saved you so many times. And when I started realizing that, and I'm like, you tucked her away. I need you to bring her back, because I need you to look at her. This is God now. I need you to look at her. I need you to heal some things about her. And I need you to see some ugly truths about yourself so you can quit running and all of that. And then once you're able to do that, I'm going to use you in the most powerful way. And then now I'm on the biggest stage in the world.
How about that?
You understand what I'm saying?
That? And all of that with, I don't know if they're not gonna listen to me. What do I have to say? What could I possibly have to offer? You know what I'm saying? No, I'm capable, but it's the but. It's the but. And I tell people all the time, once you use the word but, everything you said before that, it becomes irrelevant. I like you, but well, then it don't matter that you like me, because and at this point it don't matter. The only thing that matters is whatever come after this but.
Nothing,
you know what I'm saying? Because don't say that. However, is nice. You get what I'm saying? Because but it's not the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You totally disregarding it.
Absolutely.
I'm loving how you're getting the chance to see you too. You get what I'm saying? Crazy. And opening doors for yourself in here. You get what I'm saying? Understanding the grace that you are giving yourself. You became she said, baby, you said it all. Come on, Bonnie. Listen. Man. To be able to say for yourself and to yourself, I wanted to see a change, and then now you looking back over all of this, it's what you say it all the time. It's in me. It's ain't on. Yeah, it's in me. But you see where you come from. It literally is. It literally is in you. You get what I mean? It literally is just who you are. And that is how you've made just these moves that you've made. When you decided you was going, let me tell you, you thought you weren't going to move to Atlanta, and God was like, I said. He's like, but Atlanta, okay, that's okay. Don't worry about it. This is how we're going to move it out.
Ain't that crazy? Nene, my daughter, she said, you made me. She was like, I knew about manifestation. I read manifestation, but you allowed me to see manifestation.
Come on now. Look at her babies is talking to her. Come on.
Yeah, because like before I met Devon, before our first date, my house was packed in boxes to move to Atlanta. On me and Devon's second date, I'm like, I'm moving to Atlanta. Then you fall in love, and now the boxes still sitting for 9 months. He's like, babe, we gonna get rid of these boxes. What we doing? So I'm like, fine, got rid of the boxes. Now I'm setting my life back up in Milwaukee. Now all the boxes gone. I done paid the movers to box up. Mind you, when I boxed up, y'all, I didn't have a house in Atlanta. I just moved like that when God be like, this is what you finna do, right? Then rewind, life is lifing, right? Now we dating, we're together, we all of this, and my brother get murdered coming here. I need to go there to save what my daddy built. It's the exact same style I was looking at. It's the everything. And then for a moment, I felt guilty because I'm like, I manifested this, but am I supposed to be happy at the expense of my brother? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know how to accept that blessing. That, you know, like I was that, but I don't want to get into that. Fast forward, so manifestation. Then boom, I'm dating D, and I'm like, I'm moving. Then when that happened with my brother, now I've been telling you, we've been talking about Atlanta. Now it's like a fast forward. We gotta go, and we end up going to Atlanta. However, the version I am now is the version that's supposed to be in Atlanta. I believe that God put it on my heart to go to Atlanta. I was on that. But I promise y'all, that's like a year before D. Like, so my stuff was packed. Y'all got to understand, I was going to Atlanta. I needed my person to help me get to this version of me so I can be this version. So it was like, I'm going to put this in here, but let's rewind. You going to connect with him. Y'all going to do y'all thing because we said it on our podcast. Like, I was for to be a nun. I wasn't thinking about him. Like, I committed. Like, I'm for to focus on Glow. I'm for to do this in Milwaukee. I'm doing this. Like, I'm done with men. Like, and he was on some, I'm for to be out here, you know. And I felt like I was like, let me just throw y'all together real quick because y'all for to go mess up where I got y'all. You know what I'm saying? Throw us together. The first date, we ain't never looked
back. And facts. I was like, Lord, listen.
And we're in Atlanta.
Do it, God.
Yes, like we got married. Like people don't understand, we got married, and after our wedding in Puerto Rico, D came to Atlanta for the layover. So he got his kids, I got my kids. After our wedding, we flew to Atlanta. He didn't come home with me to Atlanta.
Right.
He flew to Milwaukee with his kids to drop them off, but also to go grab the U-Haul to drive back to Atlanta.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So it's the behind scenes people don't even be understanding.
I love that. And we one day we're gonna have some time to talk about your story when it comes to y'all story. I got a pin in that for a special occasion. But that's a beautiful thing. How are you managing? Like, so we've talked about where you come from. We talked about how you got to I want you to know that you had your associates in human services, right? Why'd you choose human services?
I chose human services because see, you irritating. Because I chose so I skip that part of the story. My mom always told me to be a nurse. Why? Because my mom, she learned how to read at 26. My mom had me at 26. So my mom always used to get me dressed and be like, you're going to be better than me. Like, so college, all she knew was nurses make money. So my mom would be like, go be a nurse, because she was a CNA. So you gonna go be a nurse. So when she was driving me, I was in school for nursing. I did 2 years of nursing, and I went to my clinicals, and after a week in the hospital, I was like, I can't do this. I want to help people. Like, I want to be the one that they sit across and I help them. Like, that's what I want. I didn't even know what it was called. Like, I want to be that thing. So I was looking up like social and things like social worker was coming up, things like that. So then I was looking at my school, because I went to WCTC. Shout out to them. I'm an alumni and I sit on their board now. That's why God is good, right? Now, fast forward. So I went to them. I'm like, this is what I want to do, y'all. And these jobs, what programs y'all got? So at least some of my credits can transfer. And that's how I got in human services. Because I was like, I want to help people, like all of that. And then for you to be like, well, why did you? That's so crazy. I did. I was going to graduate. I just only had clinicals. I was going to be a nurse, y'all. I was going to be a nurse.
And then you wasn't. Shout out to T. Arthur. What's going on? Listen, human services. I want to help people, right? That was the moment that you decided that you were going to help people. So imagine human services, and then that now you're a therapist. Not only are you a therapist, but you're a lifestyle coach. It's all helping people, right? That's all you do is help people, and not in a medical sense per se. You get what I'm saying? But you still are, in fact, changing and saving lives. Is that not true?
That is true. And I tell people all the time, like, when I even look back further, now that you got me in my childhood brain,
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, I used to sit when we lived on 39th and Burleigh. I used to sit, it was this family who mom had died. They were they came from overseas and their mom had died. And I used to sit on the porch and tell all the sisters to come and let me braid their hair. So they dad would, you know what I'm saying? Or I was the play mama on the block. So it's like, you got me thinking so much further back.
It's always been like, it's all you've ever done, though. You understand? You even know.
I'm thinking like, dog, this has been me for real, my whole life. And here I am, like, I wasn't the little girl who thought she was.
You didn't think it, but you were doing it, like you were living it.
I wasn't thinking it, I was living it.
Living it.
Boom, crazy.
That's why it wasn't another. Remember, so back to these are just points I'd be wanting to put little pins in, whatever the case may be. So when we talked about the money didn't move you because you wasn't chasing it, you was living it, right? And so being in human services and helping people, and you wasn't thinking to do that because you were living it. You know what I'm saying? You've always been that person. Always. Thinking, and we're not going to go into the details, but if you think back, like you've always been that person.
I've always been that person. And I always been a person that's like the leader of stuff. You know what I mean? Like people will listen to me.
Absolutely.
Or it's just random strangers tell me their life stories. And oh my gosh. Okay, God about to move me because I needed to know this. That's scary. That's scary for a lot of people for me to be making these connections.
She like, wait a minute.
Right. She not like the deeper power. Like, hold on. I don't feel like the glow glow.
It's glowing. Are you just getting ready for May? You don't even know this, but you just getting ready for May. It's the beginning of something very major for you.
My heart beating so fast.
Yeah. Is your heart beating fast? And look how chill you are.
I know, right? That's so crazy. Right? That's how you know it's real. But it's like, that's what I tell people to respect therapists, because especially, well, all therapists, because we're helping you change your life. I'm a trauma therapist and I'm EMDR. So I really reprogram the brain, really reprocess the brain. Like I've literally witnessed me transform, for one, because in EMDR, again, I am the product of my product. So I'm going to always have a therapist. I'm EMDR. So I do EMDR as a client as well. I want to know my client's experience. You know, I want to know how hard it is to sit in that chair and cry, you know, and like you 2 or 3. And I want to know that, you know, and I want to heal that so I can then really, you know, do and you let. Okay. So as far as therapists go, what you said was as far as like helping people change their lives and things like that. That's really what happens, because if you think about it, what runs everything about you? Your brain. If your brain go out, what's going to happen? If your arm break, you got another arm. If your leg hurt, you got another leg you can limp on. If you get a scratch, it's going to heal it. When your brain breaks and it's like broke, you don't got another brain that you can get. And this is the thing that's running everything about you. Yeah. What? You think I'm not changing lives? I'm changing your whole life, in your body, in your mind, in your spirit, in your soul. Yes. It runs everything. It's the machine. It's the engine of the car. No engine, no car. Move. It moves. Yes, ma'am. You know? Yes, ma'am. Man, sis, Yeah.
You about to fight me? Don't fight me.
Yeah,
don't fight me.
man.
Don't fight me in the public.
You got me. They said
don't fight me in the
if
public.
they spiritual, they gotta be seeing me having an awakening moment.
That's beautiful.
Live.
That's beautiful, and they get to see it, and then they get to understand who you are, who the CEO of Glow is. You know what I'm saying? And so when we talk about what moves you're making, and it only makes sense. And I said this yesterday. We look at you and D, and people always, oh, I know them. So and when they receive information from you, is I know them. Oh, I know whatever the case may be. So how much of that is you listening? Like, is you really catching more than 75% of what I'm saying? Or are you just sitting here trying to be supportive because it's me and you hear some of it? But no, this should be the other way around. Don't 20% listen to shit I say. I need you to listen to at least 80% of what I'm saying. You can let some of it slide out, but I need you to run back on this 80. Hold on to that the same way you will hold on to it if I was Sarah Jakes Roberts.
You understand?
You know what I'm saying? Hold on to it like as if I was that. You get what I'm saying? Come on now. So that is the concept. And when people love you, when people build a connection to you and they feel like that you understand them or you have the ability, like it's not just, oh, you know what you're doing. It's some great educators out here right now. When I say great educators out here, I mean people who have studied beyond. They got all kind of licenses and whatever. And you go sit in their class and you be like, oh,
you thinking about what you cooking for dinner.
Everybody wants to be in here. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
But they can't connect. And they can't. So because they can't connect, then people are slipping through their fingers. You're on assignment and they can't do their job because they can't connect. This is how we're created. If we were created why we were created to be on our own, I wouldn't know you. You don't run across, God don't do things by accident. It's all on purpose. You know this person. If you was to be alone in this world without a support, understanding, community, you wouldn't know anybody. It would be no reason to know you. You wouldn't just walk past you would know no one.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
But here's the thing. I think it's so detailed that it goes down to it's everything that happens for a reason. If you saw a red car ride past, if you noticed it was a red car, that's on purpose.
If you notice, yes.
If you noticed the red car, that was a red car. And then you go back around and it was like, I keep seeing red cars all day. Why are you made aware of something? It didn't mean that something that come up weeks later, but it was for some reason in that moment you need to take note of all these red cars. I think it's down to that. It goes down to just that finite because you just never know. And everything that comes to your life, when you have these conversations, people come into your life with their experiences, and you take them. And then you put into the puzzle. And you heard me say this before. Life is this huge, crazy ass canvas. And you can step back and look at it and see it all, and it's beautiful. Or the idea of what needs to happen here, whatever. But you can't paint the whole canvas at the same time.
No.
You got to zoom in. We're gonna work on this part right here. Canvas this big. And you could only work on this part right here. So every now and then, while you working on it, this is supposed to be like this, it's working like this. You gotta step back to make sure it's cohesive. Is that not in the piece that you kind of trying to connect this, but you gotta step back and look at it. Is the whole picture coming together like it's supposed to? Yeah. You working on a shoe, and you don't even know that it's a shoe until you step back and look like, oh, that's a shoe. I don't know what that was, and it's a shoe. You know what I'm saying? So it's things like that. So when people are learning about us as women, us as entrepreneurs, us as bosses, friends, parents, whatever, you only getting this much of the picture. Say that again. You're only getting this much of the picture. You get what I'm saying? In order to see these people and respect them and honor them in the way that we literally should be loving, respecting, and honor one another, you got to look at the whole person. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? And allowing them to be them whole selves.
That's the only way you're gonna see them.
You get what I'm saying? So you can see them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of people like, you know when we talk, you don't never say nothing. Mm-hmm. Somebody said this to me. No, not somebody. A lot of times I'm in conversation with some friends, and they like, you never say nothing.
Yeah.
And I have to, and I laugh because I was like, well, damn, it took you long enough. No, I don't say much. Well, how come you don't never say nothing? You don't give me an opportunity to. What? We just talking to each other. We talk, but you never listen to me. You never listen to me. You haven't created a space for you. You're safe here, and you know that you're safe here. So you talk, you share, you spill, you build, you grow, whatever, all the things. But have you created this? Not the same kind of, not the same space, but the same kind. So it'd be different, because your safe space is not the same safe space as mine. They're not going to look the same. It's not going to sound the same. It's not going to feel the same. But have you created space for me? If you have not, guess what you're going to get? Nothing.
Because I don't feel safe enough.
I don't feel safe enough.
And even with women, that's one thing I love about women, like real women. And it's like we create these safe spaces. Look, I'm sharing so much,
yes, ma'am.
And it's just like I don't feel like I shouldn't, it's just flowing because we create these safe spaces for each other. And I just really want my people to just get that. Like, we are not each other's enemy.
Come on.
We're only that because that's what we created in our mind.
And
it's really good women out here because I know.
Come on, could you say
my boss one more
girl?
It's really good women out here.
Yes,
it's really good women out here.
Yes.
It's really good women out here.
And I've spent so many years hearing people talk about how women, specifically Black women, they don't get along. They don't they that. I'm like, who's got this much time to hate on us? You know what I'm saying? Why are you spending this much time? Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people who are so trauma-filled that they don't know how to connect. They don't know how to be available to and or for anyone. You know what I'm saying? There's just a lot of that. I remember just a couple years ago when my nephew passed away for the first time, I was sitting at a bar, Happy Days. Shout out to Happy Days. And we were sitting there. And for the first time ever that I noticed, and I'm going to say that because I'm going to say nobody's ever tried to do it for me, but I was surrounded by this group of women and I was crying and they were I felt protected and I had never felt that before. And I was just sitting there, I was looking at it, I'm like, I don't even know how to respond to this. I don't know what am I supposed to, I feel weird. I'm thankful. This never happened before. And they was like, you never needed it before. And I was like, I appreciate that.
So they just felt you needed it.
I needed it in the moments random.
And you was vulnerable enough to let them see you. And they saw you.
And they saw me and they showed up. People that some I had just met, some I had known for some time. And just in the moment right there. And now it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And I've always wanted that for myself. Like I was the cousin that didn't get to play in the hair. I was the cousin that got picked on. I was the cousin that got ribbed all the time because I was so different, and I'm the cousin that didn't learn to do the hair braiding thing, but I learned to plaster. I was the cousin that didn't learn how to do, you know what I'm saying? But I learned to do all the other stuff. You feel me? So now you guys.
But if Elon blow this up and we got to go back to the age or Canada cut off my life,
gotcha.
I know how to build my house.
You understand?
Y'all go be cute and play nail polish and break. I know how to.
I can. Yeah. Just that. Is that? Okay. It's so dope. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's so cute.
I
like ourselves out. We good over here. You get what I'm saying? And it's little things that are from those experiences that I'm thankful for. Like I'm a visual learner and a hands-on learner, but I can also read something and do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of people don't have all three of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's either I got to show you, you have to experience it, or I can read and do it, watch you and do it. Like the other day, I had to change the cord at the bottom of my my light plug because the switch. I've never done nothing like that before, but I've seen Devon do it. And I was like, oh, because it's open, and then to reattach that piece by tying the wires. Oh, let's see. And then don't let the wires touch. Hey, I need some electrical tape. Bullshit, you're not. And I separated them, and then I wrapped up the whole thing or whatever. And that is how the lamp in my room right now is functioning.
Wow.
And I was like, my mother be looking at me like, who taught you this stuff? I was like, girl, the moment, whatever the moment is.
Yeah, you figure it out. Absolutely.
And then you figure it out. And as a mom, I was going to go in some more details about you as a mother, but I think the beautiful stories that you shared about your son and how things wasn't so smooth, and then all of a sudden he was like, wait a minute, my mom is a real person. Yeah. And she been through some things. And now I know that she's been through the stuff, and the stuff that she telling me, she not just keeping me from the fun. She done walked this journey, and so she keeping me out the fire. That's it right there. That's it. I realized she's not keeping me from fun. She keeping me out the fire because she's experienced it. Respect. Oh yeah.
Come on, somebody.
He was like, oh. She doing it. She is, not because somebody else had experience. Go ahead. I get it for you. Not because you had experienced it, and not you seen somebody else experience it, or because somebody had said, or just because society was like, we don't love that for you. You know what I'm saying? But because he was like, yeah, my mom don't walk across the coals. You know what I'm saying? And she's experienced these things. She's not telling me because she guessed. I turned it off my mouth. Go ahead.
Trying to give me the cheat code.
You know what I'm saying? She giving me the cheat code. Good looking mom. You know what I'm saying? Which is an association that a lot of children don't get from their parents because they don't see their parents as regular people. That's why they I tell you, they don't believe nothing I say because you unreal to them. You know what I'm saying? And
that's deep.
Not that the
that's real.
It's real though. Not that the stars are more real, but they live as that's what I see. You telling me about something I ain't never seen you do none of this stuff. I never seen none of that. But I see him, he riding that big fancy car, or she doing this and he flipping this, and I can see it. And I've never seen you do nothing but yell at me and tell me that I'm not doing good, or even high-five me and encouraging me, telling me how great life can be if I'm a dreamer and believe in all these great things. But you don't know I'm dealing with this too. You can't help me with none of this because you don't know what this is. And when he realizes, oh, snap, my mom walked this road, like for real, like, I'm not supposed to read this, but... Oh, dang! That's how he was. But he finally was like, nah. Then he was like, let me. Dang. Mom, you really was. Yeah. You really, and that in his mind, now can't nobody tell him nothing about his mama. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can't tell him nothing because she been here. She did that. She about it. She the real. You know what I'm saying? And she can see, he see now that you done changed. Yeah. And what that is possible to have lived this life, exposed to some of these things, and then be successful. Be a mentor. Be someone that someone looks up to. You know what I'm saying? Be a TED Talk X presenter. You understand what I'm saying? Like under all these circumstances, the people that we talk about, you would think after all of these years they would have stopped selling the dream about what you can't do out of 53206. You would think that by now they would stop selling this wolf ticket about how unresourceful Black people are.
I talk about that in TEDx. I definitely shout out 53206, baby. It's in me. I sure do. And I talk about that.
How could you not? And now they can understand. We think that by now they would be saying, if we change this, what resources is the Black people gonna use? Because we cut this one out and they just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
They
keep going.
They never stopping. And even some of the times that we feel like we got we gonna snatch the rug. This is who we are. We are resilient. We are resourceful. And in this moment, we are women. And we are proud of those things that we've done in the past, to the fact of the lessons that come from them. Now, we're not celebrating. I want y'all to be done with, hey, she was talking about, shut your face.
Get on.
Let me say it real quick. I'm just saying, cut it out. Don't be ridiculous. We're not condoning anything that is illegal. We're not condoning any part of the journey that may have caused someone else hurt, harm, or danger.
Right.
We are celebrating that we've overcome those lessons, and not just overcome the scenario in the moment, but I done learned something, and now I'm reapplying these lessons to life to make me and those connected to me better.
Those connected, alignment, connected. And that's where I'm at. And I'm going to transition to why I love Facebook because of that. Mm-hmm. I love Facebook because it wasn't in alignment with me.
Okay.
And it wasn't converting. Like you said, I went through this, and maybe they need to see more of like, dang, I don't know. But it's like I went through this, and now I'm like, yeah, like, no, I made on the other side. I gotta sneak peek in, like, I'm fit to come back here, because these people up here, my husband said yesterday, some of them be rich dummies. And it's like, they ain't 100. They ain't real like us. They don't got the tenacity that we got. They don't have a lot of stuff we got. My girls, my boss fly girls, my Black beautiful women. They don't got that. So it's like, dang, society lied to me. I did all this to get here, and this what this look like. Let me go back and get my people. So if I'm gonna be up here, I at least can come, have my people with me. But y'all don't understand what Prepare 25 was for. That was an assignment for me. We prepared 25 in March. Why? Because we wasn't going to do it. And God spoke to me so hard. Go, I have to do it. Why? Because this was my last time coming back to get y'all. If I'm being 100, this it. I'm heading to the big stage. I'm not stopping for y'all. I'm headed to the big stage. The next time you see me, you're going to have to come meet me. So that's what Prepare 25 was about. I got text messages of some of my closest people texting me. Some people I'm just cool with texting me. Sorry, I couldn't make it. Prepare was for you. TEDx, I get if you say that. That's support. Prepare was for you. I was on a mission. Devon was on a mission. We prayed about this. I fast about this. He fast about this. This was a mission when we was coming back. Prepare wasn't going to be in Milwaukee. But my message was to come back. And this was the message. Mickell, go do what I told you to do. Help them understand the brain. Help them understand something as simple as something you do a lot of creates an addiction in your head. And because of that, let me educate my people of what happens then. The A, B's, and C's. You had to be there. Let me do that.
I wrote that down.
You did?
I was like, I love that. I'm like, I'm come on, ABC. I love it.
Yeah, because that's so true. Like,
I think that what people don't understand, and then and leaving social media, for a personal perspective, I totally. That's why I didn't pick at it. I was like, okay, I see what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Is understanding that there has to be a line drawn. We're just talking about when we elevate and we have to make some changes. And not separating from, come on, mama, separating from people, but because yes, not separating from, not from individuals, but from lifestyles.
Yeah.
Separating from concepts. And if you're going to change, and people trying to say energies. I don't even hang around a lot of people anymore. And I was feeling some kind of way about it the other day, but then I realized that the people that I was hanging out with are not for this particular season. You know what I'm saying? And what does that look like going forward? And who do I come across now? Who do I become available to now? You know what I'm saying? And who will be available for me in the coming? You know what I'm saying? But I understand it. I mean, if I'm doing what I can for my people, doing what I can for my friends, extending myself in the best way possible that I'm able, so that when I move to this next level, you don't feel no kind of way when I'm not as accessible. You don't feel no kind of way when, and I know, and I'm going to say this, okay, this is what I'm going to throw my disclaimer in here real quick. The views and opinions expressed on this show are that of the host and guests of the show alone, and not necessarily that of the BubbleRadio.com, its affiliates and or associates. Thank you. Okay. So listen, I've been throwing it out. We got to say it. Because so people get mad, and my name is Patrice Green, aka just Patrice. So when we're using those statements, I'm saying this. Mickell is not saying this. Nobody else is saying what I'm about to say. It's me. Okay. Yesterday, when we was at Prepare 25, and I was sitting there when y'all closed at the end of the show, and I was sitting outside, and I looked. I had on my watch then yesterday, and I looked at my watch, and I looked at the time, and I sat just like this at the registration table, and I didn't say a word, and I just kept watching the time, and then I was like, okay, so I know you're here. In what capacity are you here? This is what you're doing, okay? And then I'm watched, and I'm looking at the wonderful table. You know, I'm sitting here, so I'm looking at the table, and I was like, okay. I looked around the room. I was like, and this one lady was asking me questions. I was like, she'll be right with you 1 minute. I looked at my watch again. And I was like, they really gonna make me do it. Right. Trying to be cool. And I looked at the watch again. It's like, I walked through. I said, excuse me, Mr. Dent. So there's a young lady. He knew exactly what I wanted. I didn't even get a chance to finish before I told him there was somebody there. I was like, but I didn't even have to say none of that. I didn't say a word. I didn't make a face. I said, excuse me, Mr. Dent. I was wondering. He was like, oh, shit. I was like, yeah. Go on and have a seat at the table. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then everybody was talking, oh, and Mickell, I said, excuse me, Mrs. Dent. Because you should have seen them. You should have saw their faces like, she didn't see us talking. I did. I very much did see you talking. But didn't she say she was going to be at the table up front? And then what y'all gonna do is let her go and finish this walk. Y'all can take all the pictures y'all need to as soon as she is done. Y'all done? Woo, woo. The mom was like, oh, baby, we got it. I said, don't worry about it. I get her. Ma'am, if you just come right with me. We're like security with the strong arm. You feel me? Security with the strong arm. And you got the energy like, dude, what did I get you? Right. You know, like, and he was like, okay. Here I come. We going. And and you should have saw everybody. I saw their faces. And I kept walking. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. You know, and then I stood for a second. I said, and then we'd like also to clear this room out so we can get it cleaned up. Thank you so much. They'll be receiving you guys out there. So they was looking at, and they was like, see, but this what I be on. This what I be on. Doing some next level stuff is happening here. And the truth of the matter is, if we were somewhere else, Mickell and Devon would have been ushered to backstage and then out and around the other way, and y'all would have never even seen them until they was up in those other seats, prepared to receive y'all, where you're supposed to sign up for your classes, ask questions, and they can be social with y'all in the morrow. They working right now. Oh, but it's that's mine. Or I know something. That's so nice. And then it's like, listen, because I remember when Barack Obama got into president, Michelle Obama mom, they had this thing on Oprah,
And her mom wanted to walk to Walmart, and she was like, "Mom, you can't go to Walmart on your own no more." And she's like, "I just want to be able to go." She didn't understand that she is the president's mother-in-law. You can't just go tell them to open the thing and go walk to.
Absolutely not.
You cannot do that.
Absolutely not.
You know, like, so that's with me. It's like, oh, it's becoming this thing, right? I'm her now. I'm the baby her, but I've arrived, you know, and it's growing.
That is definitely it.
That's
And
so weird.
I gave y'all the moment, this moment I could. I counted the minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
they not gonna do. I bet we won't be doing this in Washington.
Listen.
I bet they won't be doing this in Phoenix. I was on it too. I was like, Emma, I want y'all to know that my stiff arm's serious.
Y'all see it moving? I'm like, come on. Like when you said it like that first, like since you, and it's like the next time you said it, like I felt like you was like, I don't think you heard me though. Like this is what I'm saying. Like I want it all. I'm so like, you gave me the look, and I'm like, oh,
you said, hey, so guys, we're gonna go out.
Right.
Take pictures outside, and I was like, there we go. It's so nice. It's so nice. Yes. And we were like, damn. Hey, listen. We got a system here in place, and they need to be somewhere. Did y'all even get to? I know that y'all so happy to see them because I'm so proud of you. That's great. Be proud on the other door and let that girl get to the table so she can sell this stuff.
Yeah, and it's like transitioning to that. It's like even for me, it's like because I be wanting to see this person and this and introduce, and it's like I have to get in the mindset now of when people text or whatever, I can't say I'll meet them there, like show me who they are. No, this is about this, and it get to the point now where my phone, you can't text me and call me how to do this, how to do that.
Of course.
You know what I mean? It's like I can see that and I can see that, and it's like it's literally happening. How you was like, come on, she gonna. It's like it's happening. Last year I introduced Devon. Mm-hmm. This year you know what I'm saying? It's just stuff, and to be able to witness this real time because we're really putting in the work.
Oh yeah, next year, what's your fave's name?
Shantia.
She'll have your phone in advance. You get what I'm saying? And this is not that I'm not approachable. Not that I'm not able to engage with friends.
I think I got to get out of that.
You get what I'm saying?
That's what I think I got to get out.
You don't got to get out of nothing. God gonna do it.
Okay.
You don't got to. God is gonna handle all of those things a little bit at a time. Right. It's not that you're not approachable. Mm-hmm. It's not that you're too bougie. It's not none of that or whatever. It's simply that you're working. Mm-hmm. And this is the mindset. Mm-hmm. I'm at work. Mm-hmm. And soon as we resolve, we can do all the social kicking and hanging out y'all want to. But as soon as I'm done, just give me 1 minute. Let me take care of this. And you take this, you work in the same way that if you was doing something for Glow and we were doing Glow stuff, whatever, and you'd be like, you know what, as soon as I'm done with this, I got you. Same thing.
I ain't look at it like we working.
Yeah, you working. That's all. And when you present it as I'm working, then they'll be like, okay, as soon as you're done, we're gonna be right here. Okay. Where y'all going afterwards? Okay. And you don't have to worry about that. And that's why you have Shatia on deck, and she says, okay, so when y'all leave here, y'all going where? And she know your after schedule, and then she can handle this or whatever, and she can whisper in mom's ear or whisper in whoever else's ear and be like, just so you know, this is where they're gonna be after that, or whatever, so y'all can either hang out here. As soon as they're done with this, then y'all can meet them here. It's real simple. Yeah, it's the system.
And then it's like you get to get in the zone, like get in your thing. You don't got to worry about none of that stuff. You get in your zone, you meditate and all that. And like you said, now we can go do what we got to do at this table.
Yep. So we and when you're done, about and then everybody's like, everybody good, we straight, okay. And then sing.
Yeah. You
get what I'm saying? Yeah. And then when you're done, then now we done. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now we done.
Now we done.
You know what I'm saying? My people, you know what you got, you know what you got. Come on, y'all. I need that. Exactly. Let's go. We out here. We having fun. Exactly. And it's celebration.
Yep.
Celebration.
And once you set the precedent and the standard for that, it won't be as shocking. Excuse me. It won't be as shocking because they'll understand. All I'm doing is working. It look real celebrity-ish. But that's what you are. And I need people to understand that Like, and this is when we start talking about accepting
I
this
feel like, I'm
mantle.
so sorry, but I feel like you just led me up to the point to really be like, so basically, more of the story is you a celebrity. If you would have led with that, I wouldn't have saw it.
I know.
Continue.
Don't be sick of me. Don't be sick of me.
Keep going.
I'm just saying, but because when you say that to people, they think untouchable because of what we grew up, and that's why I mentioned that earlier. I think we grew up and celebrities are untouchable, but our lives are transparent, and people have access to us the way that they did not have before. You get what I'm saying? So even in their minds, oh, it's Mickell.
Oh yeah.
But me being who I am in this position with you, in this position with D, in the position with any other person that I would be working with. What you mean when you say, "Oh, it's Mickell"? Is it? Would you just leave out the just? Is that what you just did? Just like me and my little job?
Yeah.
Is this
Y'all
Mickell?
cute little car?
Mickell, your little car? Yeah. Oh, it's Mickell. Don't, did you? What was that? We're not doing that. No, boss.
Yeah.
We have a nationally recognized nonprofit organization. Nationally recognized. That's the not to be funny, but your boy Elon can't just go up and down the streets and it don't work like that. You get what I'm saying? The CEO of no corporation. I'm not trying to be funny at all. Google it. They don't go nowhere. That's why most of them got executive assistants, and the places they do go are outside of the places that their businesses operate, so that they can just be. You understand what I'm saying? So when you are in the space of where your business operates and people want access to you, it feels weird, but that's where you're most vulnerable. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm following this.
So in those spaces, which is why I also mentioned performance, celebrity, you bring all of these things together, and then you understand I'm not better than anybody. I just have to move differently. Sometimes for safety. You get what I'm saying? To maintain a certain level of excellence. You get what I'm saying? To maintain a certain level of respect. You move this way and you can do this way. And again, we're not untouchable. You're not outside of the realm of accessibility. But when people don't understand it, I mean, most of us, even the people that are that, you get what I'm saying? You don't understand your position. You gotta know your role. So your team can execute accordingly. So what support system? Who are we offering support to? You get what I'm saying? And all of that to say, when people talk to me and they say, and I tell them, Sis said to me yesterday, Trish, you always authentically yourself. I appreciate this. Every time I see you, like the same person. I said, I hope so. No, for real. Like I hope so. Like, I know what you mean. Proof, though. Like I'm not out here to drop you with no lies.
Yes, ma'am.
Some people say you be gassing people up. I don't use gas, fam. Yeah. I don't use gas, and I got asthma, so I'm not blowing.
Oh, I never looked at it like that.
That's I'm smoking on ass. I don't got time for that. If I say it, it's because it's something that I believe. Or it's the truth, and I gotta say that because sometimes they make the same thing. Sometimes it's what I believe, or it's the truth. Okay. I'm always gonna do my best to speak truth. If I'm misinforming, then I'm gonna make the correction, whatever. But I'm always gonna stand 10 toes down on something I believe. And so when I talk about Women's History Month, and I talk about honoring and celebrating women who people don't understand, like you gonna give her flowers, you gonna look at her and you gonna get this woman fresh out of 53206, fresh out of who walked away from cuffs, fresh out of who walked away from life-threatening situations, fresh out of walking away from opportunities that could have ended her life. Teen mom. You understand what I'm saying? A toxic relationship, divorce, children who were pushing the limits of how we gonna manage motherhood. You understand what I'm saying?
Like, even speaking of that, like because I said if you bring this up again, it's an egg way, then it was meant for me to share this.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand? So even speaking of that, I want to be real with y'all. So even as mothers, as women, we put a lot of things on our plate. And we're conditioned that way. And because we're conditioned that way and we've been doing it for a long time, it has created the feel-good hormone, dopamine, in your brain.
Come on now. Come on.
So now, although you don't like it, but you constantly find yourself in this pattern of, if it's gonna be done, we say stuff like, if it's gonna be done, I gotta be the one to do it. I can't depend on nobody for anything. You're rewiring your program to believe that, and because if you're telling your brain to think that over and over, it's like she must like it. So now you are addicted to this thing.
Yes, ma'am.
So now you are addicted to being overwhelmed. But what you don't know, because your brain thinking it's feel good, our body keeps the score. So now your body breaking down.
Come on, talk my language, girl. Yes.
And now you're tired and you're frustrated and you cannot do this because we got too many things on our plate. That was just a message for the women.
And they need that.
You do. But then I'm going to go a little step further, though.
Come on.
So with my son, we were beefing in a way where he was coming into his manhood, and he's my oldest son, and then him going through his own situations with his life, and losing my brother. They were close, and going through that and getting sucked up in Milwaukee. When we moved to Georgia, he wanted to come back to Milwaukee. Like, that's how that went. But before we even got to Georgia, what people don't realize is when my son first ran away, that took me for a whole loop. And for my strong women who wear a mask, remember, I've been talking about masks all through this, that wear a mask, that smile. Baby, I bet you I got one of the most dopest masks you can ever wear. Because if I poker face, used to be, because I can't even fit it like that no more. Mask. So I was going through this thing. You got to get a support system. And I'm getting somewhere here, ladies, about alignment with the right people, meeting the right people for the right reasons. You have to be in alignment. So when you're praying for things and you're praying to elevate in life, you got to know that is going to come with some things, and it's going to take a new programming for you to understand. And I'm going to tell you, ladies, now, if you're asking to elevate in life, you need your support system now, because there will be some attacks under you. What do I mean by that? So me and my son, he ran away. I was devastated. I took that so hard, and I was suffering in silence because I'm the strong person. I'm the therapist. I got glow. How is my son running away? How is he doing the things that I have a whole organization preventing other families from their kids running away? I question my calling. That's what I did wrong. Now I'm vulnerable to the enemy, and the enemy got in my head. And I was so low, y'all. I text my husband and I'm like, I'm just done. I said, this is for nothing. I helped save all these people's lives. I can do this, but I can't help save my son. That made me just believe it was just gone. Like, all hopes. This is how the enemy will play with your mind. And now that little girl showing up, that trauma showing up, I ain't good enough. So now my brain want to protect me. So I'm getting in front of that by saying it ain't worth it. Life's just not worth it. It's all stupid. I question my calling. The one thing that keep me going, even when I don't feel like it, I question that. I put my guards down long enough for the enemy to get in my head where I wanted to take my own life. Very calmly. It wasn't going to be that night. I had a book. If y'all been listening to the story, I'm going to plan. I'm going to say this is how it's going to happen. But these things got to be in order. And if I'm being 100 and funky with y'all, why I did not decide to how I was going to end my life that night, I said, because if I die today, my ex-husband is still on that one policy, the one that I've been lingering on. So he going to get money and I'll be down. So I was like, you know what? After I do that, after I situate that, I said, I'm just done. Like, what's the point? Life is stupid. Like, society lied. I was going through a crisis as well because now I'm starting to wake up. I'm getting more powerful. So that's scary. Everybody want to heal and wake up. You don't see the world the same. Your friends that you used to kick it with, you don't see them the same. They don't see you the same. When me and my mama stopped talking for 2 weeks because I stood on the boundary with her while I was healing, when I showed back up with my mom after like a month, she was like, I'm going to ask you this question. Are you on drugs? I was so different to her. And I was like, Ma, I'm not going to take offense to that. I said, because I remember in the Bible, Jesus showed back up and they didn't know who he was either. And when I said that to her, and I said, but I also understand why you saying that, because back in your days, everybody, if they get to acting different, they probably was on something. So we laughed about it, but we was able to break through. So my whole point of saying that is because we just had made up. We just had made up. So I want y'all to see all these transitions that was happening in my life. So boom, I'm under attack. I want to go. Like, what's the point? Why am I here? Like, I help save all these people's lives. That don't matter. Society lied. None of this matter. What am I here for? It's so hard over here. I know I'm a light. I know I'm a spirit. I just ready to go be the spirit. Like, that's where my mind was. And I was so calm. I was so calm. And I'm like, I'm literally talking to myself in this hotel. And I'm like, this must be the calm that my clients, you saw somebody posted. I'm like, this must be the calm that I read about in the books. Like, this must be the calm. It is. And I was like, so that scared the shit out of Devon. So he called my homegirl Caprice. Middle of the night. This is why you got to be surrounded by real people. We talking about Women's Month. My baby got out of her bed, and I call my friends my babies. She got out of her bed with her babies. She came to that hotel. She did not ask me nothing. We connected. She looked at me. She crawled in the bed with me. She hugged me, and I just went to sleep. The next morning, she didn't leave until we went outside. It was snow outside, and we grounded because she know me. She know me. But people don't realize I had a speech that morning. I had a big speech. I was on the flyer. I had a speech. So now, because I'm a loyal person, you just made me realize I was that all the way back then. Now I don't know how to tell this woman I'm the headliner, but I can't keynote speak because I'm going through something that I'm supposed to speak to them about. How? So I get out of that, right? So now I'm coming back. So I'm grounding. I'm doing this, whatever. Like I'm good. And now I don't want to speak. I ain't in the mood. Like I don't want to. Like I'm just clouded. But then boom, put those pieces. Devon, like you ain't sounding 100 to me yet. He calls you. We want this yet. You knew what to say, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm not finna go speak. You said you just saw something on Facebook or something, and you was like, and you had just read something video you saw, and the woman had spoke, and it was some message she gave. She said, you was like, I don't know what's going on with you. We'll talk about that later, but I just got a message saying you got to just show up how you is. Baby, I had rollers in my hair. I was ugly. I was just crying all night. I was contemplating suicide all night. Then in the morning, I got up, I'm grounded, but now I'm still low because I'm just like, life is stupid. How am I this event is about the thing that, how am I and you said, because you needed to experience that so you can connect to them the way God needed you to connect to them. You got to go show it up just like you. So I told the lady, I said, I don't feel like taking these rollers out my hair. That's how down I am. She said, just show up. I did that keynote. This is how real I am is my point. When you for real and why women is important, I didn't know Devon called my mama. When I walked in, my mama was sitting in there. That little girl felt so, I can do this. I'm fine right here. You helped me see the message. You made me feel it was okay because it was bigger than me. You made me feel brave. Like, I can do this. This bigger than me. You don't got to be ashamed. You need to understand this. And I got up there and I did that in rollers. I didn't see nothing.
and I did my thing. And it's just like people don't understand when you're called, your village gotta be tight. Yo, people gotta be tight. Me and my mama just made up. She was there. God put her where he needed her to be. And y'all, I'm stubborn. When I make my mind up, my mind made. I was okay because it was interfering with my calling. I'm that tapped in. I don't care who you are. My homegirl, she came and laid with me in the bed before I can get to my mama. She came and did probably what my mama would have did. My mama showed up the next day, but before I got to the last person, which is my mama, I had a spiritual connection with her, and she delivered a message from God. And then I had my mama waiting on me. Women, all women that my husband called, because I was on the phone with him. On his way to me, he's on the phone with the first woman because he knows the power of women. You got to be surrounded by the right women. You have to be surrounded by the right women. I understand y'all saying us black women, we don't. You just was around the wrong women. We like this for real. We like this for real. You around the wrong women. So I challenge y'all, go find some women. And if you can't, if you're not attracting that, I dare you to pause and see what about you need to handle and fix before you can attract those things. Before you be someone's villain and stuff. So yeah, that was a moment. Thank you. This is healing. Whoa. Oh, sure. I feel good.
I'm glad you feel good.
Man.
I love you.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful. Thank you, girl. Yeah, thank you. We need that. I'm so appreciative that you is somebody calling in? Let me see.
Call from Crystal.
Yep. That's what I thought. Ship, I just answered. Don't hang up. I gotta go through the process, mama. So Crystal, call back. I see that you called. Call back. I think this is why I love this show. You know what I mean? The to be able to create an atmosphere of safety is priority. And then we just talk. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully learning something that for each other, learning something that somebody listening can relate to and build from, because we need that. Mm-hmm. And when you are talking about setting a precedent or becoming, you know what I'm saying? And when they see us, I see you, mama. Thank you.
Call from
Crystal.
Okay, give me 1 second, Ship. When you are becoming, we have to tear away all these different layers. You know what I'm saying? So that you can be made. You know what I'm saying? Instead of doing what we want to do, put on clothes that we want to wear, put on the armor that we think, and our thoughts are flawed.
That's why he's stripped
we missing it.
You show up.
You know what I'm
like
saying?
That.
Every time you show up just like that.
Just like that. And even now.
Tell me what those ladies said.
I was just
tell me what they said. I got you, Ship. I thank you for being. Hold on 1 second. Tell me what the lady said. What? I'll be that.
Dang. And I was gonna say the crazy part about it is after that, they was like, oh my goodness, I was feeling like that. I'm that. I got like connections with women after that. I got clients there. I'm the keynote do that. And then one of my homegirls, shout out to my homegirl Tashima, she was another speaker there, but me and her connected there. Now me and her is like this, as far as like tapping in and understanding, because she also was there. She saw but we've been connected ever since then, for we understand people and places and times for everything. Yes, we get why now that we both was there.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I was going to help her on her journey, because she's a recovering, I can say this because her brand is around it. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Fight AAA. She's a recovering alcohol, is it alcoholic? Struggle with it, alcohol. I'll say that. I don't want to say it wrong. Right. So now we meet. Mm-hmm. Because that's what she was talking about is her journey. Now we meet. I become her coach and help her launch her nonprofit. And now she doing God's work. Mm.
Coach, is that what you do? Sorry, just make me want to do the dance real quick. Hey, we got a caller coming in. Look, I know we're going over a few moments, and I'm sure I'm pushing the limits, so we're gonna ride it through. I want to thank y'all for hanging out with us. Thank y'all for being so amazing here on BlowRadio.com. Welcome to Monday. It's your girl Lavages Patrice Ship. You in the building?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, you. What's good, baby?
Hello, y'all. I just got a quick situation. Number one, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the realness, the truth, the transparency, this conversation. When I say this conversation took me down memory lane, but not in a bad way, to remind me of the trauma. I am so grateful to have safe people and safe spaces in this season of my life. Patrice, I don't know if you realize, but in 2024, you saved me from offing myself. As much as I show up and put on a happy face and support and all the things, I was slowly dying. And I'm forever grateful. I'm grateful for your obedience, your anointing, and our godly connection. I believe that lives are going to be changed by this live, wholeheartedly. Mickell, you already know I love you. I love what you stand for, on and off social media. And I'm excited to see this next level of God. Because it's not only going to blow our mind, it's going to blow yours. And I don't think we can dream of doing big enough compared to what God has for us. And I just want to say that as the kickoff to Women's History Month, this is the way to kick it off with real untouched conversation. And I'm just grateful. And I love you both.
We love you.
And continue being who God calls you to be. Yeah. That's what I got.
She said, that's what I got. That's how I love what she did. Thank you, Ship. I love you so much for that. Thank you. And I appreciate your transparency as well. Don't forget, we're waiting on your date.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Love you.
Love you.
All right. Love you. Listen. Welcome to Monday, y'all. It's your girl, just Patrice. BlowRadio.com is officially in the building. I want to shout out to my sister. Shout out to Boss Fly Girl. Shout out to CEO. Shout out to mom, wife, woman extraordinaire, and soon to be on the largest stage in the world. I'm just saying right now, this voice needs to be heard. And just so you know, this is Mrs. Mickell Dent. How about it? This is who she is.
That's
and
so
I'm
crazy.
thankful that you shared this piece of who you are with us. And it's just, there are no words for your transparency today. And I hope that it served you as much as it has served our listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
So I know we got a couple things before we jump up out of here. So as a part of what's going on with Glow, give me some hot 2 minutes real quick on what's happening with Glow.
What's happening with Glow, y'all? Glow. Girls learning to become outstanding women. Whoa. Nationally known. What's happening at Glow is Glow 2.0. Glow 2.0 is Glow Power, and it is time. It's time, and we're here where we're growing Glow. So what we have now going on at Glow is our workshops. I want everyone who is listening, y'all have heard my story. Y'all have heard what I've been through. Y'all have seen it. I can't ask my clients to do stuff I ain't gonna do. Y'all are seeing this. If you know a girl whose story may be similar to mine, if it's a grown up, if you are a woman, I got boss fly girls, okay? That's for my older ones. But for my younger girls, if you know them, go to glowpower.org and you'll be able to find out all the information about us. But I don't want y'all to go to glowpower.org because y'all want to go. If you felt led, if I was speaking and you immediately was like, oh, this person might be, this is for you. I can tell y'all about events, but that's what's on my spirit. If you are connected to a young lady that you believe will benefit from Glow, we service ages 11 to 24. Go to glowpower.org, read about us, and fill out the interest form. And that's what I'm gonna say about Glow. And this, and I'm gonna say this too really quickly, and then I'm done. I feel like this closes my story.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're talking about that diary that my son he didn't read but read that he found.
Yes.
He ended up giving me that book. I flew down. I wanted to get the journal, because I'm like, why this showing up? You know. So when I had the journal for a while, and this version of me that you said, like, I'm shedding, literally, like I'm her. I sat down and I opened the book and I read the first 2 sentences and I started bawling. I said, you don't even know who you become. And I stopped reading. I flipped it to the back like, girl, fuck that nigga you mad at. You. And I just was me. And I allowed me to just cry it out with her like, dang, I got some bad news for you. They killed Yay, like my brother. Like, that was so healing for me. I was able to reconnect with Mickey. And I set it down. And that's when I'm like, I'm her. I'm not going back. I'm her. My son, I don't care what he do. It ain't got nothing to do with me. This person, that. That's how the enemy got me, because my babies. No, I'm powerful. I'm the light. And that's when it's like, and then for you now to come put my life back in front of me, that's the end of the chapter. It's up. Like, I wish we can drop the mic. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, if you'd like to know more about Mrs. Mickell Dent, therapist, life coach, you understand, what's your website?
MickellD.com, MickellD.com.
And then all of her information regarding her organizations, the business that she's doing, where she's going to be next, what's going on with her, how to support any endeavors that she's going on can be found there. I just want to throw this out here really quick because somebody's going to ask, and I know it. I was going to put it down. How come she didn't talk about Glow? How come she didn't talk about? Because we talked about Mickell. And we talked about who she was, and all of those bits and pieces are what Glow is. Do you understand that? Understanding who she is as a person, as a woman. We were celebrating Mickell. We are not here to celebrate Glow, even though it's magnificent. And Glow 4 hours are tonight. But that's another story. We're not here for that. We're here for y'all to get to know this sister. And it is Women's History Month. Do you get what I'm saying? And this is her history. This is her story. And I want to thank y'all for being here today. I want to thank you for spending time and listening. For those who commented, don't forget to share this video because it's for someone. You know what I mean? Not just for us and not just for those who saw it right now. Someone else needs to hear this story. Someone somewhere needs to know what's going on. And y'all know how we do next week. I'll be back bothering y'all again right here on Monday from 1 to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time because that's what I do. I love y'all. Happy Women's History Month. And welcome to Monday, y'all. You know how we do.
No puedo dejar de sentir eso, decía de ustedes. You already know.